Oh,
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not. No, that's not.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit her with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still on the stars with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof, like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You never know what is a star, like another city, the driver's side fly. Gucci get large, so many more, 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as could be. You can watch on YouTube with viewing for French. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
It is a fun Friday. The man that once ate a pigeon. Tobin is on vacation. I am Dan filling in for him. We have a man, a myth, a legend, the Big Easy Zone, Purple Knight, St. Augustine, running back, Leroy Horde. Am I wrong about any of that, Leroy?
What's up, Daniel Day-Lewis?
Throw the nines up. Ninth Ward, murder capital of the world for years.
Yeah.
I'm not even
Marcos, we used to have a saying growing up. I'm from that 9, and I don't mind dying.
No.
That's the truth.
Big man used to say, when you get into it, you can get into it. But if someone throws up them 9s, you walk away.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's not even exaggerating.
That's not an
you had to be a different level of human being to survive.
Now, Marco's from the pork and beans. We're okay with that.
Yep. Sometimes my gate and my gated community wouldn't work. So I get it. I completely get it.
Hey, we had a gate. It was a big cage. It was a big cage that locked us in when the storms would come.
Wow. No.
Leroy, though, let's get to business. After watching last night's game, Chiefs, Broncos, how happy are you that the Dolphins kind of have things together? Because I never thought I'd say this. Sean Payton and Russell Wilson.
Here's the problem, though.
What's wrong? But no. Problem or problems? Break it down.
Problems is that everybody's searching, right? And sometimes when you search and try to simplify things, you actually make them more difficult.
Wait. It's pretty simple. Russell Wilson is jumped the shark. He sucks. And Sean Payton.
Well, but here's the other thing, is that you got Russell Wilson running the offense of a rookie quarterback, thinking you're simplifying it, when in actuality you're making it more difficult because you're cutting off one half of the field. The other thing is that ain't got nothing to do with their defense, who can't stop nobody.
The offense is terrible.
Marcos, the offense is bad. The offense is bad. But think about it. If you go look at their scores, right? They've been pretty much in every game except
they've been in every game, even against the Bears. They were supposed to lose that game, but yeah, they've been close except for the Dolphins.
Right. But when you look at that, okay, then what's the problem? The problem is that, one, they don't run the football at all, right? They're not a threat to run the football. 2, they can't stop anybody. And the thing is that, you attack the spokesman, which is supposed to be Russell Wilson, which everybody already has like a, they give him a lot. Some of it he does to himself by the way he carries himself, right? And so from that standpoint, the worst type of athlete, the worst type of person, the worst type of individual is that person that thinks they have a space on this earth and they don't. Okay? So it's not that I don't think Russell Wilson is any good.
No, he's good.
Right? But here's the problem.
He sucks.
Russell Wilson ain't Tom Brady. Russell Wilson ain't Aaron Rodgers. Russell Wilson ain't Drew Brees, right? And so he's kind of for some reason been put in that elk of quarterback. And now we're looking at him like, hey man, you think you're elite, go be elite. And it's just not happening. So like I get it. And then Sean Payton's not doing him any favors too by running his mouth.
I mean, Sean Payton hates him, by the way.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, but who doesn't hate Russell Wilson right now? I mean,
but that's just it. Think about Russell Wilson's career, right? This is just the icing on the cake. But people have been alluding to this type of stuff.
Yeah, they have.
Even when he was in Seattle.
Yeah, they always.
And everybody's like, "Oh, Russell Wilson's the quarterback, the darling quarterback of the league." And the Legion of Boom was like, "Hey, player, no, he ain't." Right?
Yeah,
and Marshawn Lynch, "Hey, player, no, he not. I don't even mess with him." Right?
Really? So, Marshawn Lynch even said that?
Marshawn Lynch said he don't mess. He said, well, how was your relationship with Russell Wilson and with the coach, right? Pete Carroll. And he said, I don't mess with him.
Marshawn Lynch is the truth, though. Ain't no way Marshawn Lynch ever gonna
and guess what?
Nothing.
Right. But that's my point. That's my point. Now, he said it in that way. The Legion of Boom said it in a different way.
Right. The right way
so
to say it.
The only way you can get out of that thought process of what people think of you is to go to a new place and be different, right? Be ingratiating to your team. Be that guy who's going to be the team leader and kind of be one of the guys, right? He's done nothing but that. And so now
he's actually put in the work.
Right, but he's always put in the work. But I'm just saying, if you're a team, be a team, right? You think of Aaron Rodgers, you think of Tom Brady, you think of Drew Brees, you think of Peyton Manning. Nobody's ever, as great as they've been, nobody's ever questioned whether they're on that island by themselves and do things. Nobody's ever said that, right?
Because he handled their business.
Right. And so from that standpoint, I think sometimes in life we need to be more aware of the space that we take.
Right.
And less concerned with how we fit in, right? Like you got to be comfortable with who you are. You got to be the best version of that. And that's the way it is. And I don't know of any person considered a team leader that is also known as a standoffish by himself loner. I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Who's the best quarterback you played with?
Huh?
In your opinion, who is the best quarterback you played with, Leroy?
Everybody did something different.
Randall Cunningham?
Well, here, let me say this. The smartest quarterback I ever played with was Bernie. Okay. Bernie could go into a game, right? Run 2 series during the course of a game, and then come up with a game plan to defeat the team the rest of the game.
To me, that's just the best quarterback in the world.
Right. That right there. And so maybe he didn't have the physical skills of everybody else, but he damn sure knew when he had to throw it and where it had to be, and he got it there. So it didn't look like a Dan Marino pass. Mm-hmm. But I tell you what, every time you came out of a break or every time you need to know where the ball was going to be, it was right there. So, when we got caught up in arm strength and all this stuff, I always thought, man, isn't it more important that to get there, right? Where it needs to be?
Yeah, and exactly.
So that's how I look at Bernie. As far as
Jamarcus Russell had all the physical skills in the world, and he'll even admit, I don't have between the ears. I was too busy drinking scissor and doing whatever.
The other thing is probably the best, the prettiest
Ward, by
ball,
the way.
the prettiest ball ever thrown.
Oh,
Warren Moon.
Warren Moon.
Warren Moon threw. Listen, even in practice, the ball had a tight spiral wherever it went. Right.
I'll tell you, my goal in life is one time Mike Ditka was coaching the Saints, and I went to see the Seahawks play the Saints, and Warren Moon was quarterback towards the end of his career. And it was the worst game ever. And the Saints ended up Warren Moon fumbled at the very end of the game. The Saints kicked a field goal. My goal in life is the day I beat Warren Moon is be like, hey, I was at that Seahawks Saints game where you fumbled the ball away and the terrible Saints kicked a field goal and they beat you, and I hope he punches me in the nose. That's my goal. Like, I want to punch me in the nose. Like, after all he's done, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
And he won. He'll laugh.
No, he's a great guy. But I want to ask you this, Leroy and Marcos, though. Seriously, gun to the head. During the national anthem yesterday, was there ever a moment that you thought Kansas City wasn't going to win that game? Marcos, you go first.
Not at all. Never once. I actually, as a joke, asked people yesterday. I was at the comedy club. I was like, who you got tonight? The Chiefs or the Broncos? And literally no one answered me. Every single person just laughed.
Leroy?
Oh, so they thought you were telling jokes.
Yeah.
It was a joke. It was a joke. Leroy,
so me and Tobin did something yesterday after the show. And we, picked the game. And so my whole thought was this. I'm like, listen, as bad as Denver's been, they were always close.
Yeah, no, I didn't say close. Did you think they were
No. So my whole thing was, and as a former player,
same thing with
I have a
face, by the way.
As a former player, I have a hard time with the big point spreads, right? Just because the competitiveness in me, like, oh, you better not go out there like a punk and get ran over,
no.
right? I just think that for other people, right? But that's probably my mentality with other teams. And so that's why I always I'm saying, hey, Toes, every game has been close. Are we just gonna sit here and dismiss? And he's like, yeah. Right. So we roll with Kansas City, and guess what? It was an 11-point game and the spread was 10.5. So that's you see what I'm saying? It's not like it was close.
But doesn't it make you feel good as a Dolphins fan? Like, we're doing a lot of things right. You got to figure Mike McDaniel is on the same page.
Yes.
Tua is just locked in. It's so much easier to watch.
You know what it is? It's the thing that I like about watching the Dolphins is I like being in a place like this with my team or any team that I'm a fan of. Mm-hmm. If you're going to lose it on the field, which is the biggest problem I had with the Canes, right? Yeah. They didn't lose that game on the field, right?
Yeah.
They lost that game on the sidelines. And I think the decisions that Mike McDaniel makes, I think, Fangs will start getting a better idea of what his players can and can't do. I think they should put more pressure on quarterbacks, but they just bring 3 or 4 and want to drop all these guys into coverage. I would like more pressure because remember last year, I mean, they brought the heat a lot, right? Everybody ate. So I wish I would see more of that. But other than that, yeah, they're doing everything. They seem to be growing each week. New guys are getting in the mix.
Yeah, Van Ginkel's killer.
Van Ginkel is, listen, it's a shame. They brought in a lot of guys to replace him because they thought they would be better, and you end up with the same guy that's been producing.
What do you always say, Leroy? You know what? Make me take you out. That's the thing.
It. That's what they say. You know what? Make me take you out. And Van Ginkel, listen, I don't care who gets back. When Jalen Phillips gets back, you still gonna have to go. I don't know if I want to get rid of that action right there. I mean, Van Ginkel's been playing good.
I was really hoping Cam Smith would do that with Jalen Ramsey, but I don't know if that's going to happen now.
He's young though, man. Listen,
right.
Some of the things that about being young at that position is you fall for some of the dumbest crap.
Well, you're going
to get the double move, the double move, all those things right there because you try to be aggressive. They take advantage of that. So he's going to learn. He's going to learn how to read, different
I think he's
things.
been in position most of the time when he's played.
Yeah. So
can I ask you this? The Dolphins lost, though. They lost it on the field to the Bills. The Bills just punched him in the mouth. And that's the thing. They weren't out game plan. They just I'm not going pretty much look. But they lost it on the field.
Yeah, they lost on the field. You had a game plan. One, you turn the ball over too damn much, right? That's on the field, right? You couldn't really stop them. You had opportunities to get them off the field. You didn't. They moved. They went up and down the field. and as bad as it was, you can't. After that game, you can't say, "Oh, there was a coaching decision that really turned it." No,
Right.
no.
So, Leroy, in your illustrious professional football career and everything you've done, they got to come see us, though, right? At the end of the season, right?
That's it. I said it after
Come
the
see
game.
us.
I said, I think the
Come see us.
division and a lot of things will be decided when they come down to Miami. Now, keep in mind, I'm assuming everybody's going to be on track, right?
Right. You're right. You're right.
So,
But you know what? It's about winning the right game. It's not about winning a game.
Bill Belichick used to say that, right?
Yep.
You know what he used to say? It's not how many, it's when.
It's win. Exactly.
Think about this. He lost one
Mm.
game when they went 17-1.
Is the one
One game.
lost one.
Now, what if he had lost the first game and won 17 in a row?
What if he'd have been run out of the stadium by the Detroit Lions, who only won one game that year during the regular season? Guess what? Way better than losing that Super Bowl.
Right. They're Super Bowl champs, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
They had to say
LSU.
that. I played. I only lost 2 games. I went 15-1.
But guess what?
And lost the championship game.
You lost a championship game. Right. I'd rather lose to nobody. And maybe the Hurricanes will see that this year. Maybe they're going to run the table.
Man, that's a whole different.
Losing the ACC championship or the CFB playoffs.
Here's the problem with that. Though. Here's the problem with that.
Uh-oh. What's the problem?
You can have, lack of confidence in players, quarterbacks, whatever, right? But that decision last Saturday. How can you look on the sideline, you know what I'm saying, and think that the people supposed to be leading the charge gonna make the right decision the next time? That scares the hell out of me.
And the other thing is they shouldn't have given up all those plays. When you're a defender, you're checked. I mean, I'll be the first to admit I checked out. Once I knew I was going to win the game, I was done. Yeah. These defenders are checked out, man. And we even talked to Javon Holland on his show, and he was like, when I was playing at Oregon, same thing happened. Mario Cristobal. He's like, you're taking your gloves off, you're high-fiving each other, and next thing you know, wait, we got to go back out there? What?
Yeah.
It's a mind frame, man. It's just, oh, man. Let's get to some quick headlines before we get going with anything else. Guard Robert Hunt and center Connor Williams missed practice yesterday and are questionable for Sunday's 1 o'clock kickoff against Carolina. Leroy, does it matter that they're not going to be playing if they don't play?
Yes, that offensive line need to build, need to grow. They just finally got into a spot where they were showing a little bit of consistency. You can't be rotating offensive linemen now. Let's get a consistent starting O-line, and let's get better.
ACC supervisor of officiating Roberto Riveron says the fumble call for Miami against Georgia Tech was the correct call. Miami, they do face North Carolina tomorrow at 7:30. I think we can agree that was not the correct call.
Move point.
It didn't matter,
Their incorrect call was made before that play was even called. Now we can move on from that. Like all the stuff after that is a result of a boneheaded decision. That's it. Like, okay. Oh, it shouldn't have been a fumble. It would really? That's what you're gonna go to? Shouldn't even been a play. You shouldn't even been playing football at that point. I don't want to hear that garbage.
Leroy,
They screwed us.
What did they ask you one time? What did they ask you one time? You want to take a knee, or Leroy, you want to get those extra 3 yards and get that 100-yard game? What do you want?
Take a knee. Game over.
It don't matter.
Game over. Nobody
matter.
cares whether you got 97 yards or 100, but they do care if you get the W.
Dude, I'll tell you this. You get 100 yards, people probably aren't going to say that much. You fumble the game away, they're going to hate you, Leroy.
That's it. And
so,
listen, you got to know who you are. I knew I had a propensity to fumble. The last thing I want to do is be in a situation where they grabbing at me and I'll be the one to lose the game. I knew this.
I'm telling you, man, you go to the club and you talk to the ladies, we won tonight. That's a lot better than, I fumbled and lost the game.
Oh, no, you ain't going to the club if you got.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You ain't going to the club.
We're sad. They were crying.
You going home and watch Sunday Night Football. What are you talking about?
Don't talk to your roommates. Don't talk to nobody. Your mom's calling you. No. Because your mom will tell you, I love you. You did a great job. But what were you thinking? I don't want to hear that one.
It wasn't even my mom. It was my uncle. My uncle, every time you touch the ball, I get nervous. I'm like, you're supposed to be support. He said, I'm just calling it like I see it.
Let's talk about this. Get ready. They played San Antonio Spurs tonight. I know everybody excited about Victor Wembanyama. That's a good reason to be excited because here's who's not playing for the Heat tonight. Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, Nikola Jovic, Josh Richardson, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Kevin Love, and Kyle Lowry. Nobody playing 7:30 tonight. Eric Spoelstra might dress up as guard tonight, I'm guessing. Whew. Oh, man. Did you even try to watch that Panthers game last night? Minnesota Wild 2-0.
No,
Eagles 100.
I saw the garbage goal in the first period, and I'm like, oh, this is how this is going to go. Guy just did a little lazy slap shot in the left corner, and it got through everything. I'm like, oh, boy.
Okay. Can we get a weather report real quick? Let me give you a little. You get ready for weather, and I'll give you the.
I'll give you a weather report after we break.
Oh, you were taking a break? All right, we're taking a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the Heat, maybe talk about some weather, and who's going to play point guard tonight? Maybe Pat Riley will lace them up tonight. We'll talk about that next here on the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM. Heat back in action tonight. Game 2 of 5 of the preseason. It's all about Victor Wembanyama tonight. The big Frenchman, Air France. And why is it all about Victor Wembanyama tonight?
Is that real? Air France? You can't just throw air in front of things, people.
You know.
Does he even jump? I don't even think he jumps.
Dude, you saw him one time. He missed a 3. He got his own rebound and dunked it back on the same move, man.
As perfectly as it sounded yesterday. I want to say it was Vlad who said him and who's the other from OKC?
Chet
Holmgren look like two breadsticks.
I like it. See, I'm all I like the skinny breadstick guys.
Two win socks.
Yeah, the things in front of the car dealerships.
That's what I like, man. I mean, you're French, you're skinny. You know, I'm all about that. But the Heat tonight, no Jimmy Butler, no surprise. Caleb Martin, Nikola Jovic. Why is Nikola Jovic not playing? Come on.
He hurt his ankle or something.
Oh,
no,
he got hurt. He got banged.
His high school.
This is the other thing. I want to talk about Nikola Jovic, by the way. Oh, what a great FIBA World Basketball Classic. There was a couple games he went over.
Hey, but he controlled the tempo, Dan.
Okay.
He controlled the pace or something like that.
Josh Richardson. I like Josh Richardson a lot. I think he's going to be great.
Why is he out tonight?
Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Kevin Love, and Kyle Lowry. I mean, rest Kyle Lowry because you know he's going to. You need to rest him as much as possible.
But here's the deal. Like
$30 million worth.
Preseason is to find out what you have.
Right.
So like you got a whole bunch of guys that are gonna play substantial minutes where they're gonna earn a spot on the team.
Yeah.
So it's preseason. I'm not worried about it.
You're not worried about anything tonight. I mean, like if you get blown out by 30, if you win by 100, it doesn't matter. Am I right?
As long look, if I go out swinging and I'm 30 points worse than that team that day, I could live with that. But if I go out there cautious and trying to, hesitant and whatever, and then get blown out, you didn't even try.
So if Swider goes for another 17 and a quarter, is that something?
Yeah.
I think it's something.
I mean, for this team, no. Because remember last year, I want to say in a regular season game, Jovic went for 11 points in like 7 minutes. And we didn't see him no more.
I will say
he got hurt though.
We saw Max Strus in summer league or in something just go off, and everybody's like, "That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything." I was like, "No. I mean, like Max Strus and Omer Yurtseven, who was serviceable. They were going off, and everybody's like, "Oh, it doesn't mean anything." I was like, "No, it does mean something." So if Swider goes off again tonight, I say it's something.
Yeah, it'll be something.
It is something.
It'll be something. You want to see him against whatever competition you want to see. Like they'll know what they ask him to do, and if he can go on the court and do it, and that'll determine, what his role will be. Like we all know he can shoot, but it's never been about shooting with the Heat. It's always about the other stuff, being on the string defensively, being able to play a little bit of defense, rebounds, being where you're supposed to be on the court. So.
Okay, so about defense, Bryant, I actually liked a lot of the stuff he did with the Lakers last year. He's a great scorer. They say he can't defend for anything. Is there something that maybe Spo can do as being the best coach in the game to kind of, protect him as far as defense? Because he's kind of protected Tyler Hero a little bit. Nope.
Here's what you do. Zone. You better work on that defense, son, or you're not going to get on our court.
Is that what he's going to say? What if he scores, what if he scores like, 12 points a game off the bench?
I mean, off the bench is different though. You can stagger your starters or whatever.
Bam Adebayo starting.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you got to stagger it so that you always have some defensive guys on the floor.
Right.
That's one of the true skills of Spo is having guys like Tyler Hero and guys who ain't gonna play defense, being able to play substantial minutes while not exposing them.
You guys are worried about the wrong thing, though. Who's going to play? Who's not going to play? Who cares? What I want to know is, do the Spurs game ops have enough cojones to play something every time Wembanyama gets to the line? Victor Wembanyama to the free throw line? Come on. I need the Spurs to grow a pair and let them know that
No, that's what you get on the road, Marcos.
Nah,
You don't get that at home.
Britney fans are in the front office somewhere, and they're making their voices heard.
Brittany's a huge fan of Victor Wembanyama.
Not anymore.
British accent and all.
Yeah.
How messed up are you that you're in Las Vegas, number one? Which, I mean, I don't blame you. If
He
I'm
had
in
a
Vegas.
residency there.
Oh, why is everybody making her out to be the villain? She's good.
No.
Yeah,
She had a residency there. She was
at work.
And technically, Victor Wembanyama didn't push her away. It was
He
his people.
assaulted her.
It was her people that pushed her.
He said,
he said, I didn't even know it was her.
Yeah,
No,
he said
no.
I would have hugged her out. I'd have kissed her.
No
I
way.
hug and kiss Britney Spears.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that on the tape you can see him mumble, "Knock her out."
That he told his people to knock a woman out.
That's what he said.
So I mean, back in the day, man,
allegedly.
Britney fell off, but back in the day, she was the it, between her and Christina Aguilera.
What you talking about fall off? She's still on top of her game.
I mean,
She did a song with Elton John the other day.
Was it good?
You know who else?
was
You know
good.
who else has a residency in Vegas? Usher.
Adele. Oh, Usher.
Usher.
Yeah,
Oh,
Usher got
yeah.
it. He's going to be at the halftime show. Taylor Swift, she turned it down, so Usher got it.
Taylor's not.
Someone legitimately, it was Vlad telling me the other day, oh, you would see Taylor Swift, she's trying to get that halftime show. I'm like, well, she turned it down like 7 times.
She's
So
not trying to get. First of all, you don't get paid for the halftime show.
you have to pay for it, actually.
Yeah, and she doesn't need any more publicity. She's good.
So why don't we get Britney Spears to the halftime show? Well, could she play at halftime tonight of the preseason game between?
Yeah, you know what? I'll take that. Hey, now you're thinking, Dan. Now you are.
How the high have sunk.
Look, you got 6 starters sitting out. The least you can do is give me Britney Spears.
Another question, Leroy.
Yes,
if you're not
sir.
anybody or do anything, why have 5 preseason games? You can choose how many preseason games you want, by the way.
You can have none.
What do you mean?
You don't have to have
can
5
you choose?
preseason games. Yeah.
Yeah, every NBA and like football is you have to have a guaranteed.
Right.
3.
There's no guarantee.
Yeah, and basketball you kind of pick it.
I think there might be like a minimum of like 2, but yeah, the Heat choose to have 5.
Really?
Gems.
Yeah, Pelicans got 4. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the deal. Like, nobody knows what you need to accomplish more than you.
So they figured.
And I think this is the Heat use this opportunity to get as many game time, situations with their young players as they can.
Right.
So that's why none of the older guys are playing. And you need to figure some stuff out because your young guys will be contributors.
And Marcos, correct me if I'm wrong. Nobody develops players like the Heat, so maybe we shouldn't be questioning.
Boom.
I'm not.
That's why they do it. It's
Man.
a reason why they do it.
So smart.
Look at us.
Jimmy Butler promised that they're going to win the championship, and everybody's going to say they got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, right?
Eric Spoelstra says, I know championship caliber teams, and we have one.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, sir.
He said that?
Yeah.
He doesn't just say that, though. So that's interesting.
He said it at Media Day. He said it to you, Leroy. You weren't listening.
He didn't say that to me. He didn't say that to me. This is the first year we didn't have Spo. We usually always get Spo.
Solana took him? Huh?
I don't know.
Francis Corner?
Spo. He's busy coaching, man.
You guys trying to tickle Leroy's fancy?
Let's tickle Leroy's fancy. Let's do that next here on the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM. Oh. Man, I forgot how hot Iggy Azalea was.
She's gotten hotter, to be honest.
She's gotten hotter?
She's gotten hotter.
Isn't it weird that she's Australian?
Yeah.
Oh.
And you know Australian women. Woo.
Got a new wait,
Woo.
what? I got
They are rather friendly.
Well, the problem is
Oh.
this, and I'll break it down for you. I've talked to a couple Australian women in my life.
Wow.
It's 2-to-1 women to men in Australia. So it's supply and demand. So the men are just usually, not all, jerks because you know what? 2-to-1, easy. Next.
Yeah.
Thank you, next, as Ariana Grande would say. So the women,
They like nice people.
they like nice people. Kind of like Leroy, you've talked about Canadian women. They love you.
He's a nice guy though.
But yeah, I mean, look at you.
Who can deny
Look
that?
at you.
Look at that.
Look at you.
Hey, well, I'm all past all that.
Tell me the beach story again. I want to hear the beach story when you met your sister-in-law for the first time.
Would
Weren't you on the beach one time and you met your sister-in-law and she asked, do you have more of you around?
No, that was my wife's aunt.
Oh,
is
is it? Okay. Oh,
Yeah, you making up stories.
I'm sorry. I was asking.
Come
I said
on,
I asked. I
man.
didn't say I
She
was
said
making-
that. Any more you where you came from? I'm like,
You're
it's
one
all,
of those-
like, how do you respond to something like that? Like there's a handsome black man store around the corner. Go pick you up one.
Yeah.
Right?
I wonder how lucrative that would be. The handsome black man store.
I
around
don't
the
know.
corner. You'd be in there though. Marcos, you got some tickle or fancy? Speaking of tickling fancies, go ahead.
Yes, indeed. I obviously got a lot of football, but I want to go to get something else real quick before we start the football. Today, October 13th, worldwide, Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, which amassed a record 37 million on its first day of pre-sales. It is officially out. Leroy, Taylor Swift in a movie theater, the Eras Tour.
Everyone's talking about this, by the way.
Does it tickle your fancy?
No.
Oh,
Leroy.
Fancy, not tickle.
Here's why. Right?
what about Travis Swift?
Travis Swift.
Here's why it doesn't
I'm
tickle my
worried about
fancy.
you. I'm worried about you. Go ahead.
We're paying now to go watch a concert in a movie theater.
Mhm.
If I can't go to the concert, then I'll pass. I ain't gonna watch a movie of a concert.
I don't know.
That's just me. That's just me. That's just me.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
It's Travis Kelce's man or woman, whatever you want to call her.
I don't give a rat's ass if
Well,
it's,
I love it, by the way. They should show more of her on TV. Last night,
if one of my favorite artists,
Wasn't enough.
right? If one of my favorite artists, for example,
who's one of your favorite artists? Alan Toussaint?
Prince.
Prince.
I-
Well, you can't get
I've
that.
always- yeah, but it's not possible. But if Prince was available, or like Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
right back in the day, if he had a concert and he was available, only to go to the movie theater to watch him, I wouldn't go.
You wouldn't.
No.
Leroy.
If Silver Sun Pickups, I mean, they're coming here for a Riptide, but if they did a
Oh.
concert, I'd go to that for sure.
For the movie.
But if
you'd
they
go-
did a concert, but not in a movie theater,
Yeah, I would go. I'd go. Yeah.
You sing
I mean, I'd
along?
bring a couple beers and a fifth of vodka, but I mean, I'd be there.
I think you can
But
do
I'm not
that.
going to do that for a concert anyway. So, man,
hey,
I don't
that's why,
like
hey,
that.
Marcos, that's why they make the little bottles, baby.
No, oh, yeah, I forgot. I got a couple in my car right now. Let's
Hey, here's what you do. No, I'm not going to even say it. 'Cause
Can you agree
Leroy.
with me, Leroy, that now TV is making a point not to show Taylor Swift as much? Like last night, they show like quick flashes because they didn't want to be accused of too much Taylor Swift. I don't like that.
Here's the
Give
deal.
people what they want.
Here's the deal.
Give the people what they want. Give
You-
Jay what she wants.
Yeah.
It is television's job
To give you
to
what
get
you
as
want.
many eyes on that TV as
Go
possible.
show T Sweezy.
Whatever that means, right? But like, I'm not mad at why wouldn't you? Right?
No, show her. She looked
Sure.
good.
That's
That's a
fine.
beautiful couple. I can't wait to see their kids. Oh man, I hope they
Wow.
have kids.
Aren't
so
you
bad.
jumping the gun here?
A little much.
I mean, how
First
talented
of all, she got it. Here,
gonna be.
let's think about
She ain't
this.
gonna have no kids because she got.
First of all, she got to keep a man long enough to have kids.
that's true. That's true.
Wow.
Right? For whatever reason.
He's
For whatever
squeezy.
reason.
Travis Kelce, Swift, man, come on.
Queasy? No.
What? We need a good nickname because Travis Swift doesn't work because that could be anybody in the league.
Yeah.
Leroy, you got a nickname for this whole situation?
No.
Okay,
Taylor and her little friend.
I don't know about little, but go ahead, Marcos. What else you got that's tickling
All
our fancy?
right. NFL schedule. We're gonna go through a rapid fire of these games here. Leroy, I just need you.
Terrible week this week, by the way.
Last week felt like a terrible week too. I don't know what's going on.
Dolphins gonna whoop that. You know what?
So let's start there. Dolphins Panthers Sunday 1 p.m. live from Hard Rock Stadium. What do you think? Does that tickle your fancy, Leroy?
It does because I like to see,
My
especially
fancy
with
is tickled.
the home team, I want to see growth, right? I want to see them get
Gotcha.
better. I think that's the thing that pissed me off so much with the Canes is that they have gotten to a place where they weren't beating themselves. They didn't have a whole bunch of penalties. They were playing some of the best football that I've seen them play, in a few years as far as being consistent and mistake-free. And you had a stinker of a game,
But you still
and
should have
you
won.
still could have got out of it.
Yep.
So I want to see the Dolphins. I want to see them progress. I want to see, okay, what's the next evolution of this offense? How are we going to get better on defense? Are we going to do different things defensively, or are we going to keep sitting back and letting teams move the ball on us? I don't know, so I always get excited to see, because for this team, there's a bigger picture, right? We're past the point where we're saying, ooh, hope we can make the playoffs, right?
Right.
So I want to see, where this is going. And so I'm always excited to see, what new creative ways they're going to run offense, what they're going to do defensively to kind of keep up. Same thing with the Canes, right?
That's what I want to ask you, Leroy. It sounds weird, but you actually, if the Canes would have won 20-17, you'd actually have been very happy about that, for the fact that they showed that they found a way to win when they probably should have lost.
Right, exactly. I mean, think about the Dolphins. They lost the turnover battle. And you're not going to win. You're not going to win a whole bunch of games like that. You just happen to play a very bad team. So you have to keep that in mind, that, normally you go to the turnover battle. Whoever wins the turnover battle usually wins the game. And you lost that and still were able to win. So, yeah, that's it's easier to grow from that than if you had done what, say, the Canes done. So I want to see both teams either grow. I want to see the Canes bounce back, because, look, it's human nature to, even in the locker room, to blame the culprit, right? And the coach didn't do any favors by not eating it right away.
Yeah, that was tough.
He kind of let that linger a little bit. And so now, when the coach comes out and says, yeah, that was a decision on me, but I put my kids in the bed. We probably shouldn't have fumbled, or when he throws that out there, that means you're trying to soften the blow on you. Eat it. Right. So I want to see how they bounce back from that. I do think they like their coach. I do think Mario Cristobal's done an incredible job. I want to see him bounce back as a team, as a coaching staff, everybody from that. Right.
I was at LSU when Nick Saban lost to UAB, and we thought it was the end of the world. Blip on the radar. Went on to win a national championship. Went on to be Nick Saban. Marcos, what else you got?
So before that, we got a 9:30 game. I don't think they're going to have Toy Story on this one, but Ravens versus Titans.
Ooh.
Does that tickle your fancy? 9:30 a.m. football.
This is a very interesting battle, because we all know what Tennessee is. We know what they're going to be. We know how they're going to play, how they're going to approach the game.
Middle of the road.
And it's in London, right? We need to see what the hell is going on with all these weapons and stuff in Baltimore. Now, here's the kicker. They ain't got no damn run game. So when all this, when you add pieces, right? when you add pieces, you're adding pieces thinking that you're still going to have what you had the previous year. But they don't have a run game. And so now they're putting the ball more in the Lamar Jackson's hands and saying, go win us one. But the offense is not set up the same. I want to see if they can, one, try to get some type of running game and kind of open it up a little more for Lamar Jackson to be a two-way player instead of just having him drop back and throw it, because you're eliminating one of his skill sets.
Yeah. I love Lamar Jackson, by the way, but I'm pretty tired of these regular season games in Europe. I would prefer just some preseason games, throw him a couple of bones.
What? Well, Jacksonville's going to be there.
Why not give Mexico City the team? Mexico City, it makes more sense. The fans are rabid there.
Rabid? You see that stadium they're filling up in London?
Studio Azteca it's a little old. It's a little old. Kind of like the Superdome. Marcos, you got one more tickle fancy?
Yes, indeed. Like you said, there's a lot of mediocre games this week. A lot of things that seem like they may be one-sided. So I'm going to give you one, Leroy, that kind of hits close to home.
Uh-oh.
The Cleveland Browns versus the 49ers.
Oh.
Do you think this is the week that the 49ers
do it, Leroy?
Come on.
Do it.
Come on.
Do it. I feel it.
Here's the deal.
Watson.
Is Watson playing?
Ooh.
He's got to.
He said that if he's injured, he can't play. Like, we gonna stop making it sound like, oh, he's just deciding to play or not to play. If he's healthy, he plays.
I think he's out. I just looked it up right now. Deshaun Watson out versus 49ers. He did not practice Wednesday or Thursday.
Don't do it, Leroy. Then don't
even worry about it. I'm gonna you know what? I'm going to give you another game. Just because,
please, because that's not a game.
no point in that one for sure.
Goodness.
Let's get out of the 1 o'clock slots because, it seems like a very lopsided evening there.
It's a tailgating weekend. Let's put it that way.
Let's go ahead to Monday nights. We have some teams that are trying to shake off bad reputations. The Chargers versus the Cowboys.
Ooh.
Does that tickle your fancy, Leroy?
It does, because we got a battle of two teams that both fan bases think should be doing better. Right? Like Justin Herbert. Oh, I'll save you, Justin Herbert. They don't quite get it done. And then Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, who their owner has deemed them Super Bowl contenders. So something's got to give.
Yeah, now, who wants to lose more?
Well, I would say this. If I had to pick, I'd go with Dallas's defense over the Chargers.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is a nasty being right
there. He wasn't too nasty against them 49ers, though.
Yeah, well,
you saw he has a little bit of beef brewing.
Look, the 49ers can be as good as they want to be up until the NFC Championship game. And then
how about this, Marcos?
Yeah.
Listen. You can't complain about somebody talking trash when you had an opportunity to do something about it.
True.
After it's over, it's over. Now, when you can say we got something for him next time.
Yeah.
Do you?
Didn't seem like you did this time.
Do you? So, I mean, it sounded like the right thing to say. I mean, but you was out there and you didn't do that while you was there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sign up for that ass beating again.
That's like me. Like, Leroy, you beat me up. Next time, you better watch yourself. Well, you know what? You better be careful next time.
I'm thinking of it more along the lines of Friday, where they say, you want some of this, old man? No.
Nope.
We'll be back with more headlines and get you up to date on everything going on here in South Florida here on 560 WQAM.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Valoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Our Tua of the program. The most popular person in the NFL, without a doubt, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift for sure.
Question is she the person to beat in the AFC? No, I'm sorry, Kansas City Chiefs. Are they the team to beat in the AFC? Or is it now maybe the Dolphins, maybe the Bills, maybe somebody else? To beat the man, you got to beat the man. And
this question will be answered in a few weeks in London. Now, we'll say this.
it's not going to be in London, though. It's in Germany.
It's
Frankfurt.
Germany. Sorry, Germany.
Germany's
Gross.
better than London, right? You've been all over the world, Leroy. You know.
No, I haven't.
Leroy
yeah.
has never been to Germany.
Never to Germany?
Why?
Why not?
Like, I don't understand. I don't want to seem. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to say this.
Frankfurt?
Okay, but I'm gonna say it as well as I can.
Wait, let me try. Leroy feels as if there's not enough people that he would be able to relate with in such a weird ass community.
No, what about what's his name? That played for the Lakers with the little
Schroeder.
Yeah.
He's German.
Yeah. So no, let me say this.
Ruder, but yeah.
Here's how I am with that. I see some of the atrocities that go on in the world, right? Including here. And I have no desire to put myself in any of that. Right? Like black people have
making reference to World War II?
No. I'm saying black people got a hard enough time in America. I ain't gonna take.
No. I was about to say a Spanish word. No. Beloved in Germany.
Yeah.
Look up Dirk Nowitzki's wife.
Whoa.
Look her up.
Nowitzki's wife.
No doubt. I had a German exchange student one time that told me the only type of woman he likes, because in Germany, that is number one.
Is she actress? No.
Look at Dirk Nowitzki's wife.
Look at that.
Beloved.
Huh,
exotic.
She's not short, but next to him, seems short. Everyone seems short.
Is that what you're taking away from your
just,
search? Is that she's short?
No,
not short?
No. Sorry, I apologize. Yes, this is a beautiful black woman. I did not know that.
Not surprised.
Is she black?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Once again, I'm about to say a Spanish word that begins with a C that I can't say in this market. Any other market could.
I'm just asking, brother. I ain't mad at nobody. She's Swedish.
Little German chocolate.
Swedish.
She's Swedish.
That's about it.
I gotta tell you. I tell you what. She's a looker.
Hey man, it's Dirk Diggler. What you want from Dirk Diggler?
What's your favorite cake, Leroy?
German chocolate, baby.
Oh! Looks like
hey, man, what's wrong with y'all?
You.
I'm just saying. I am.
You don't have to go to German people are fantastic, lovely, beautiful people, very nice.
I'm just like
the food.
That's not my.
No,
that's
food's fantastic.
Sausage.
That's not my thing.
Spicy. They like spice and beer
You like
and mustard.
and just like.
But is their beer warm though? I don't like that.
No, the only people that drink beer warm is
England.
ales in England. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
That's a misnomer because when I went to Europe the first time, I was like, oh, here we go, warm beer.
Yeah.
It's freezing cold everywhere. Greece,
Oh.
Italy, Germany. But man, Germany, like seriously, like, yo, can I get a beer? It comes out in like 48 ounces, which I mean, I love, but don't get me wrong. I was like, I didn't want a whole pitcher. I just wanted, oh, actually, I did want a whole. Yeah, just bring it on.
They do got some good beer over there too.
Oh, Germany knows.
Guys,
what
I think
they're doing.
we're missing out. I think we need to go to Germany.
I think we need to take the show. Let's go.
Let's go live from Germany. What time would we have to start
Doesn't
the
matter.
show? That's
Hey,
crazy.
we tried that in Vegas, dude. It's rough.
Yeah, you guys were.
It's rough.
It's 5:12 p.m. currently in Germany.
Perfect.
So,
So we would start at 4 in the day. Oh my goodness.
yeah, that's actually pretty good.
And Leroy, I
Oh,
mean,
that's very
Leroy,
convenient.
and as we've already discussed, you would be beloved in Germany. Be careful. You have a bodyguard out there. NFL player.
All right.
I'm gonna hang with you, man. Like,
All right.
let's get some headlines from the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store?
Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Guard.
I know
Robert
it's not. And keep in mind,
Mhm.
I know it's not like my thoughts aren't, my thoughts are my own. They're not everybody's. But I'm just saying, based on my history and where I'm from, I just never felt the need to test the waters in other countries because I'm barely, surviving this country. See what I'm saying? And that's why I've always I've traveled,
Yeah, of
but
course.
not like that. Like I think ideally, here's what I would like to do.
So you don't want to go to North Korea?
No.
Whoa.
I would like to go on a golf trip in Scotland, but here's the problem: no golf carts.
What?
Yeah, they
the
walk.
grass is too good.
Walking caddy, right?
No.
I would also there's a couple of places that I've seen in the world that I would like to go. Like my daughter wanted to go. She didn't want a sweet 16 birthday.
She going to Paris, isn't she?
Right.
Whoo, Patty. It is.
So she got a tour guide. My wife,
That's perfect.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and she can speak the language. So yeah.
Right.
Ooh. That's nice. You can actually get like a feel of the real
And she
stuff.
speaks. Her pronunciation is good too, and unlike my trash pronunciation where they will not respect you and stuff. Because it's all about
you're from New Orleans, dude. They don't speak. Look, they don't speak French like French, and they don't speak English like Americans.
No.
Right.
No. I was lucky. I got out alive. They always tell me I'm one of the cleanest speaking Cajun people ever.
Wow.
What about me? They say, "Oh, you from New Orleans? How come you don't have the accent?" I said they broke it out of me when I went to Michigan because they thought I was an idiot.
Yeah,
like people think that is no, that's just the way we talk.
Same thing with me. Yeah, they from an early age they were like, don't be like us. That's what they told me. So.
Yep, that's it.
If you want to get out of here, do not be like us.
Yep.
Guard Robert Hunt and center Connor Williams missed practice yesterday and are questionable for Sunday's 1:00 kickoff against Carolina.
I would say most important is Connor.
Honor for sure.
Yeah,
you don't want to be like.
I mean, but here's the thing: if Robert Hunt is out, do they put Liam Eichenberg in his spot?
Might have to,
because he's the kind of the roaming offensive lineman, right?
What about Bryce Young? How do you feel about him?
I think it's hard to determine how good a young quarterback is when he's in a bad situation on a bad team.
Still would have taken CJ Stroud. I'll be honest with you.
CJ Stroud. Hey, how about this? You ready?
Go ahead.
Like while we sleeping on Houston and CJ Stroud, he has gone the longest as a rookie without throwing a pick.
No picks.
No picks.
I liked him. I liked him coming out. I said he should be the first overall pick. And I mean, I'm not hating on
I would say this for me, I would have taken Stroud over Bryce because he's bigger.
I just like
you can't tell me what the substantial difference is between the two of them.
How much do you think Miami wins this weekend against the Panthers? 14, 10, 3?
I think it'd be something like 27, 24, 10.
Wow, that much?
Yeah.
Not much.
I think so. They'll win by 14, 17. Like I just think
I think
offensively, they're not going to be able to score on this defense.
yeah.
And then I think defensively they have some talent, but playing against the Dolphins is a whole different animal. As everybody has told you, there's guys all over the place and they all can run fast.
Yeah. Man. Panthers fell 2-0 last night to the Minnesota Wild in their
And
season.
it wasn't even that close.
No, it was not. When we were down 1-0, I felt as though the game was over, and it was only like the first period.
Right, that's what I'm saying, because the way the goal was scored, and they came out. Listen, the game started. You thought the Panthers was going to run all over them. Because
they had a lot of shots on goal.
A lot of shots on goal. At one point, it was like 9-3 as far as shots on goal, and then it just kind of went away.
And then you got 2 more road games before you get home. And that's coming up on Thursday.
I like to pass a rule in all sports, Dan Day. You ready? If you make it to the finals, the Super Bowl, the
Stanley Cup,
the NBA championship, MLS, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
If you make it to the finals, your fan base deserves for you to open the season at home.
Yeah, that's reasonable. That's exciting.
Not on a damn 3-game road trip.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. Even if you would win all 3 games, it's still kind of you're like,
you deserve to be at home. You deserve to be at home.
You do. That's right. You've earned that right.
That's the reward to your fan base and your fans in your city, or whether you're going to put the banner up then, whatever you're going to do, you deserve to open your season in your house. You earned that.
That's true.
Not on a damn 3-game West Coast trip.
And that's the thing. Like I said, even if the Panthers were to win all 3 games, it's still not as exciting as the first game of the year. All the excitement.
First game of the year. Correct.
Like, I've watched these guys on TV, and now it's
it should have been Vegas opening up at home and the Panthers opening up at home, and everybody else can fend for them damn selves.
Yep. If you want to be the man, be the man.
Heat should open up at home. Denver should open up at home. Boom.
Yep.
Then who was it in football? Philly should have opened up at home, and Kansas City should have opened up at home. That's just the way it is. The fan base should be rewarded for their team's success by opening up a season at home, not waiting a week before you get your home opener.
That is pretty crappy.
It's crappy.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Oh, real quick, want to talk about the Heat tonight. Nobody's playing. Jimmy Butler, Caleb Barton, Nikola Jovic, Josh Richardson, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Kevin Love, and Kyle Lowry. San Antonio, 7:30 tip. Be sure to tune in, 560 WQAM.
I don't like what you're doing, Richie. We be listening to the Bobby Boucher show today.
I was actually looking up some New Orleans slang so I could be cool like you guys.
Ooh, wait. How about we do it? We're gonna come back. First of all, we're gonna talk Dolphins. We're gonna talk Panthers. We're gonna break it down. But first, Marcos, you're gonna open up with some of this slang and see if Leroy and I still have it or not.
Yep, let's see if we have it.
That is here on the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM.
Slow motion for me. Slow motion for me. Moving slow motion for me.
I like it like that.
She working that back.
Juvie the Great. They don't call him Juvenile no more in New Orleans. They call him Juvie the Great. Juvie the Great. We're getting into some New Orleans slang. I do want to ask you, Leroy, though, what stings more, being a Hurricanes fan and the way you lost to Georgia Tech, or being a West Virginia fan and how you lost to Houston last night?
But that was still on the field.
That was terrible.
It was terrible.
But it was on the field?
It was on the field. That's why you watch. But keep in mind, like, I'm one of those people that's why you watch sports.
I know.
Crazy crap that could happen. Right?
But
not
why not
dumb
just
stuff.
put your feet at the goal line and be like, here we go, like as a DB?
Wait, in theory, yes, that's what you want to do.
Why not? Of course, in theory, you should kneel the ball too. And
In theory, yes, that's what makes that play so amazing. It never works, but when it does, you're like,
I don't understand a lot of things. And granted, I made some huge, and you played a lot, Leroy. I played a little bit. I made some big mistakes, but come on, man.
Not as easy as it thinks.
I know,
That
and
ball
that's the
goes
thing.
up in the air. Everybody's trying to get position. Here's the kicker. There's so many bodies around. You can't really jump the way you want to. So sometimes what happens is only one person gets good footing to jump because everybody's moving and adjusting, and you don't have solid ground to jump.
So let me ask you, are you a believer? And they say you should just bat the ball down on a Hail Mary, which
Yes.
West Virginia lost down. Or do you just catch it if you feel as though you can catch it? I say just
Bat
catch
it
the
down.
ball.
Because
Bat it down because it's going. Someone could be laying on the ground.
Hold on. First of all, they're defenders. They're defenders because they can't catch.
Yeah, you're right about
So
that.
now you asking a guy who's not known for his receiving ability to go out and catch it? No, you tell him do what he's been doing his whole life. Bat it down.
Okay. As a receiver, I just lay on the ground
Now,
and wait.
the more incredible thing about this is that even though you're telling them to bat it down, the timing to jump and bat it down the timing has to be perfect. Otherwise, you miss, it bounces around and ends up in the other team's hands.
We're gonna
I
get
would
into this.
say there's got to be a better way to do it, but that's why they put offensive guys out there. Because offensive guys have better timing as far as catching a ball at its high point.
We're going to talk about Dolphins and Panthers in just a minute, but we got to brush up on our lingo from the Big Easy.
Yeah, I was
The 504.
I got one for you, Marcos. This is a simple one. This is simple.
Yeah.
You got it.
Where you at?
Yeah.
Oh no, that one's. See, I know that it has nothing to do with location.
No.
Well, how are you feeling?
Yes, there
How
you go.
doing? How you doing? Where
Yeah,
you at?
but
Where
I
you
got one that you don't know about. I
probably
bet
don't.
you guys don't even know about
Go.
this one. If I order my po' boy dressed, what does that mean?
Lettuce, tomato, mayo, ketchup,
Everything. Put it all on there, baby.
everything on it. What's up? What you talking about? That's an amateur.
Rest.
All right, we started easy. We started with a
Some of
softball.
them are probably hard. I ain't gonna lie.
What if I get I eat a couple po' boys, I get tired and I gotta make dodo.
Oh, that's going to sleep, baby.
What is that?
You know that go and make dodo, man. You always make dodo like you make your groceries. You make your groceries, you make your
I
dodo.
thought I was making doo-doo.
I know, that is-
I'm not really sure what that was about. All right, so we already know about your mom and them.
How your mom and them?
We already
Yeah,
already
That's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
but this is
Them
another
could be a crew.
this is another family member that you may ask about. If I'm asking about boo, your boo, and not talking about your sweetheart, who am I referring to?
It's got to be your baby, like little kid.
It's a term of endearment a parent or grandparent would call a small child.
No. Oh
That's
yeah.
Shaw.
Yeah, but that's
Ah.
and wait, and guess what you call
Parent
your
Shaw?
get here. I give you another one.
Yeah.
So you watch all the Tyler Perry movies, right?
Yep.
Medea. You know why her name is Medea?
Nope.
It means my dear. That's what we used to call grandparents, my dear. And it ended up getting messed up, and now it's Medea. But it actually is short for my dear.
That's one of those things, though. You can call somebody your Shaw, but I would never call Marcos or Leroy my Shaw.
No.
That's not, no.
No.
More of a loving,
Yeah.
type. thing like that. Or if somebody in your family, Shaw, it's okay.
What about you and your Shah go to the carnival and you see some flying horses? What is that?
I mean, that means I'm on some stuff. Flying horses.
Yeah.
Flying horses.
You got me on that one.
You got you on
That's
that.
a merry-go-round or a carousel.
Oh.
Oh no, we ain't have that in the Ninth Ward, so we ain't know nothing about that.
Exactly. That makes sense.
You ain't going to the Hotel Montleon if you.
I tell you what though. Yeah, I thought you was in the line of talking about that sticky icky, and then back in the day we had this thing called clickums.
Whoa,
clickums.
Yeah, they would dip the joint in formaldehyde.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and people out there in them streets chasing spots.
People are crazy on that. I mean,
yeah,
that's when you see them people. You just keep going.
Yeah,
man.
you keep going. He ain't right.
Nope. Marcos, you got anything else?
Man, I'm looking at one that kind of took me. It just made me think of how disgusting seafood is. This is an expression that is on the Lost Cajun. I'm assuming this is some sort of advice to anyone who may be heading to the area. Pinch the tail and suck the head.
Oh yeah.
Oh, crawfish, baby, crawfish.
Oh, my
Oh, you got to get up in there,
man. You got to dig in. You want the brains.
Hey,
Oh,
here,
want
let
them
me tell you what
brains.
to do. Let me tell you what to do. Here, you ready? You break off the tail, you squeeze the tail, get the meat out of the tail, and then suck the juice out the head. Next, and you just keep it going.
See, Big Lynn, she takes the pinky finger and digs out all the brains and all the guts. And
Oh
things.
yeah,
That's too
you know
much.
what?
That's too much.
Old people like eating guts of stuff.
They nasty,
They
man.
nasty. Like I said, I had to yell at my mother-in-law. We got lobster or something. We went to Rustic Inn, and they have this thing called lobster fra diablo, right? It got lobster tail, shrimp, clams, all over like a white clam sauce. Delicious. We over there, we give her the whatever. She over there with a spoon and a finger eating the guts out of the head of the lobster. I'm like, what are you doing? Eat the lobster, not eat the lobster.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I sat next to a dude one time that was pinching the tails, sucking the heads, and he wasn't taking off the doo-doo line of the crawfish. You just suck them. I was like, I gotta move, man. I can't hear that.
The doo-doo line.
Yeah, there's a black, it's a vein that goes around the back of it. And
He wasn't taking out the yellow.
everything.
He wasn't taking out nothing. Not
Yeah.
the yellow, not the doodle. He was just literally pinching, eating. I was like, oh.
Yeah. You got to clean. If you're gonna be sophisticated, you got to clean your crawfish, baby. You can't just be going in there.
They purge them before they boil them. I don't want to hear that.
No.
You know what goes good on the side of that? A
What?
snowball.
Oh, a snowball now, yeah. I get that coconut.
Snowball.
I like that
Yeah.
coconut.
Hey,
Leroy, what you go,
wait.
2-3?
No, I go red and blue mix. But here's the thing.
Oh,
Here's the
I don't
thing.
like that condensed milk
I'm gonna
either.
tell you like this, Marcos. Everybody in the hood had a neighbor or one neighbor that was selling Hucklebucks, frozen cups, snow cones out of their house. And they just be a note on the door. We open from this time. So, you got to make sure they home after school. Boom, boom, boom.
I'm
Quarter.
surprised. Why don't they have snowballs down in South Florida? You would think
They do. They have a good snowball place. It's called Italian Ice. That's why. Right? Right. It's called Italian Ice. And if you go, I want to say Oakland Park, they have like a little hut. It looked like those old when you used to get your film, them little huts.
Oh yeah, like a black.
It looked just like that, right?
think-
And you could go and get your Italian Ice. We used to hit it up all the time. I used to take fines there all the time.
Because I would think like correct me if I'm wrong, but Cuban people like that sweet. And most people like sweet. So you would think like coconut snowball, man. Woo, woo.
I remember we had when the last time we went, remember they used to have the 4th of July thing at the BB&T Center?
Yep.
Right? We used to go over there and they had the frozen lemonade. We used to hit up that frozen lemonade, put a little vodka in it.
Oh.
Woo! Woo! Look, this is the perfect area for a little. I tell you what, when you have if you have when young Tadpole gets older and y'all have like that 5-year-old birthday party where they finally get friends at school and stuff, you have the little truck come over to your house for like $100, for like 45 minutes and just go snow cones for everybody.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to get it. I'm telling you, man. Look, when it comes to stuff like that, I'm your
You
guy.
are the man. You are the man.
I'm your guy. When it
You
comes to
came
any
the other
kind
day
of
and I have
heat,
like 150 racks of ribs and like cows in my backyard that I'm about to slaughter. You were doing it, man.
Hey, when it comes to like sweets and stuff like that, that like he don't know nothing about that doughbird cake.
No, that Dobage cake.
Isn't there like some sort of treat I get and there's like a baby in it? I don't
That's
like
a king
I don't
cake, man.
That's a king cake.
I
But you
don't
know we do have a lot of in New Orleans. I used
worms
to eat
cake.
I used to eat the hell out of these as kids. Figs.
Oh,
There's a million fig trees in New Orleans.
figs are just, man. They put them in everything too. Man.
Now that I'm older, I punch myself in the side of the neck for even wanting that stuff.
That stuff, man.
Is figs. We used to eat figs all the time.
Yeah, because your grandparents would grow them and then they just pick them.
They'd be in the tree. It's a fig tree and they just hang from the tree
in the middle of the hood. If you have a little patch of grass, a fig tree will just blossom everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you got to wait for it to go green to brown. And then when it gets brown, they pick them and they're like, oh,
yeah. You know what my grandmother never could make though? Fig Newtons.
Oh, my grandma. Big time to make some fig Newtons, man. Should roll out the bed.
My grandfather would always say, hey, you don't need to go to the store for that. I can make that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing with your lemonade. You come back from the store with some lemonade. Why'd you buy that? I can make that here. And they just break out some lemons and start cutting it. It'd be sour as hell.
And Marcos, everybody in the hood in New Orleans had one of them big giant jars with some tea sitting out back.
Oh my God.
Sun tea. Woo!
Mason jars?
Yeah, no, it was
no,
giant pickle jar, like the big giant.
And what they do is they go play in the yard, and when you see that it's not in the sun anymore, go move the jar into the sun. You'd be playing football, and you have to go move the jar throughout the day, and then you have that sun tea, and that sun tea will keep you up for about 4 days.
Yeah, because they used to. You know what else my grandparents used to make? Their own hot sauce.
Sun tea.
Their own hot sauce.
Yeah, because they used to have. My grandmother used to grow the little bitty peppers. And these peppers were so hot, she used to have to put on the hazmat suit to go.
Yeah, you have to wear like gloves. And
they come green, yellow, orange, and red. And you could take one of them red ones, and you could drop one of them in a pot of gumbo, or a pot of red beans, and it would make it hot, spicy.
Sun tea. Tea brewed in the sun creates a breeding ground for bacteria.
Well, yeah.
You know what? Anything from New Orleans.
That's always so healthy.
Wait. There's got to be a reason me and Dan are the way we are. It's all that damn bacteria because we drank the hell out of some sun tea.
Oh, but when you're drinking water out of the Mississippi River basin, with all the nastiness of the whole country comes all the way down there, and then you wake up and drink that, it's pretty nasty.
Yeah. New Orleans water had taste.
Okay.
Speaking of taste, Marcos, you got some candy for us next. That's on the Tobin Leroy Show, 560 WQAM.
WQAM, broadcasting live from the Edmore Sawgrass Auto Mall.
I say he's so sweet.
Did they let me lick the rapper?
So I let it
Now I realize I should have saved this song for my candy thing.
Yeah, because we're going to do Candy this segment, but we want J Fig to jump in. She's got some things going on because J Fig's got some really, really deep candy talk that we got to get into.
It's deep, bro. It's deep.
We're going to get into this mixed bag. So, Leroy, what Marcos / Art God Savi is going to do is play us a mixed bag of things, and you can react because you're good at reacting. Marcos, what you got?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday we had mediocre football. Few glimpses of Taylor Swift. There was a bit of drama. Not enough for sure. Some drama brewing, guys. Not sure if you guys are aware of this whole Jerry Jeudy versus the media thing that we got going on.
No.
We're going to start off with well, you guys, first of all, you guys are familiar with Jerry Jeudy, correct?
Yeah. I mean,
Denver
I've heard from him the past 2 seasons, but I know who he is.
Exactly. A lot of people actually feel the same way as you, Dan, to the point where Mark Schlereth
I know him.
Took time to say he would cut Jerry Jeudy if he had the opportunity. And that's not the only guy who's critical of his play, but let's hear from Mark first.
The effort from our starting wide receivers.
Yeah.
Shame on Jerry Jeudy for even thinking he can utter the name of Rod Smith in his tweets. Shame on you.
Yep.
Because you're not a professional. You are not a professional, and you don't know what effort is. Your quarterback's under duress. You're locked up. Somebody locks you up in man coverage on an underneath route, and to call it trotting would be an insult to trotting. You just quit. You gave up, said, well, the ball's not coming to me. Hey, you're a lantern holder. Shining a light on Russ. Hey, Russ, you're under duress. I hope it works out for you because I'm not going to do anything to bail your ass out. Good luck with that. Oh, a sack. Weird. Cortland Sutton not coming back to the ball. Neither of those two guys would play for me. I would cut both of those guys. They would not play. Jerry Jeudy would not be on my team. Jerry Jeudy couldn't play on the teams I played on if his life depended on it. He's not tough enough. He's not focused enough. He's not good enough. He's not anything enough. He could not play on our teams. Mike Shanahan would cut him tomorrow. I wouldn't have him on my team. You can have him. And that's the reason the Broncos stink.
Wow. That's the reason.
Here's the problem with that.
Yeah, tell him to shut up.
You can say that, but the reality of it is, no, you're not. Right? You can make it sound like, and I try to avoid back in my day type stuff.
Yeah.
But here's what I do understand from back in my day.
No.
Losing sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. And you go into it with the right frame of mind. And then week after week after week, getting beat up and embarrassed and whatever takes its toll. So could they help their quarterback out more? Maybe. Right?
But I don't think Judy's hound dogging and just kind of
I'm not gonna make it sound like he's making it sound like if they were to put forth the effort that their team would be better, and that's not true.
No.
And why would he go with the offensive guys when the defensive guys can't stop nothing?
70 points against the Dolphins.
So I get it. It's kind of low-hanging fruit right now. Like, you can go throughout the roster. There's going to be people that go after Russell Wilson. There's going to be people that go after Jerry Jeudy. There's going to be people that go after the defense. It's a bad team. They're not playing well. And so, it's like, we get it. We know.
I say this. If the Broncos want to cut Jerry Jeudy, I know a good place he could land.
Where?
Right here in Miami.
Jeez, another receiver, Dan?
I just keep taking him, man. The more weapons, the better, man. I just want him.
Well, I'm not sure if you guys
there's a number of teams that take Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
Look, you mentioned, Leroy, that you attempt to avoid the back in my day.
Ooh.
So that's understandable. These are a few interactions that he had on X, as everyone
that's what I call it
is calling it nowadays. Philip Lindsay, former running back, also of the Dolphins, very briefly mentioned, where are the receivers? All the money out there to be no-shows. Jerry Jeudy's response: glad you got to watch the game from the crib, fam. So, he's getting a little mouthy there. Speaking of mouthy wide receivers, you guys familiar with Steve Smith Sr.?
Yeah. He is not to be trifled with.
He is not to be trifled with. And I'll tell you what, he is a retired football player, but it's recent memory. So, it's not something that was like a different era necessarily.
He even moves like he's talking. He's like jerky and shifty and mean talking, walking.
Well, this is what Jerry Jeudy and Steve Smith's feud boiled into as Steve Smith completely eviscerates the Broncos wide receiver.
A short while ago, Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy was walking by, and Steve called out to him, and he got a different reaction.
I called out to him because on my podcast, Cut to It, I just talked about guys that maybe have not showed up in the way or in the manner. And so the word that I've used to describe him in the past was a jag, just a guy.
Just a guy.
And so when I saw him, he's playing well. I wanted to say to him face to face, like, hey, I know I said some things in the past I probably shouldn't have, and I'm sorry. That's what I wanted to say to him. His response, Mike Robb and Bucky, was ninja.
Ninja?
Yes, I'm using the word ninja. I'm just using the word ninja. I don't mess with you. And it was a curse word. And so I was like, all right. And then he repeated it. So I'll say it again. I'm sorry that I said you were a jag, just a guy who's an average wide receiver that you used a first-round pick on that isn't doing anything. I hope today that you actually show up in a way that you haven't showed up in the last couple of years since they drafted you. So if you ever got a problem with Agent 89, I'm sorry for saying that you're an average wide receiver that they eventually will move on. And when teams called me and asking, should they trade for you, I will say no, don't trade for Jerry Jeudy because he's mentally unable to handle constructive criticism from people who watch specifically, can he be a wide receiver? He could be a wide receiver. He's a tier 3. Go back into the studio. I'm done now. Thank you.
Drop the mic on the way out.
Now.
All right, go ahead.
Here's the difference between now and back then.
We didn't talk with our mouths.
Back then, you didn't have the platform to go back and forth. It was all one-sided, right? But now you have so many people commenting on each situation. We just talk about Steve. We just talk about his podcast. What about all the other people? What about the people on ESPN, Fox? What about the people that, are on watching the game last night, right? There's so many people commenting on it, and everybody thinks that they need a hot take, right? A hot take. The reality of that situation is that it takes a different breed of athlete to be bad and continue to fight through it. For whatever reason, we all as people get it beat out of us where you just succumb to it. So I'm not going, when you're 1-5, right? Like there's a lot of things that need to happen throughout the whole team. To sit here and point at one person to say if Jerry Jeudy was doing his job, they would be better is a bit unfair. Right? And the way platforms work now, when you say something about somebody, they have a platform to respond where you didn't have it before. So to call somebody soft or to say he don't have the mentality to have constructive criticism, go look around. Who does? Everybody responds to hot takes on them. So it's a little bit, both it's a little bit, going, I'm not going to get on a guy too much for the circumstances of his organization or team. Right? Like you got to be a little careful while you judging somebody in a bad situation and judging them on their abilities to play based on that situation. So I'm not going to go there. I don't know Jerry Jeudy from anyone, right? I know what kind of player Smith is.
Yeah, he's a baller.
Right? So there's people that comment based on how they did things. Times have changed.
Yeah.
We don't do things like you ain't never heard Steve Smith say, I'm always bleeping open. Right? That's the way guys are now. Why you ain't catching the ball? You not getting open? Right?
There was a day and a time that you said, I already told you I don't like you with my mouth. And that's all you had to say.
Right.
Back in the day, someone has said whatever Steve Smith said, Jerry Jeudy said to him, no more talk. But now they go on the podcast and they
now we got the back and forth. And you know what? Here's what I hate. I think this is the part that bothers me the most.
Go ahead.
You confront the guy, right? Y'all have some words. Then you come back after the fact and say what you was gonna say.
No.
I was gonna apologize to the buster, but then he came at me in a way. Don't put it on him. That man ain't say nothing about his game. It was you.
Like I say, settle it.
So
settle it off the podcast.
I wouldn't mess with Steve Smith though.
No.
That dude, like he ain't playing. He got little guy syndrome and he's strong as
I.
and he ain't playing. But look, that's the world we live in now. And guess what? If it wasn't that big of a deal, why did the people that he was doing the show with bring it up? Because they wanted the heated conversation. They wanted the numbers. They wanted to get some clicks. So that's what it's all about.
Clock, 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 clock.
Hurricanes and Dolphins next here on Tobin Leroy. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. It is the noon hour this weekend. Dolphins should be a sure thing. Carolina, not very good. They got beat by the Saints even. That's terrible. Hurricanes, though, on the other hand, this is an interesting game. Crazy things happen when they go up to North Carolina. Leroy, do the Hurricanes bounce back? Because a lot of people are talking about them, and rightfully so. I think they bounce back.
I think they can. I just think.
What do you mean they can? Are they going to bounce back, Leroy? Let me know.
I mean,
it's going to be rough, too. It's going to be really rough.
And like, I would have liked to seen something in last week's game that would lead me to believe after a bye week that you're heading in the right direction. And the first sign of adversity, the first sign of things not going the way you plan, the first sign that, you know, things aren't going to according to script, everybody panicked, from the coaches to the players to everybody. So it's easy to play football when things are going great. It's easy to do the right things when things are going great. It's really hard to do the right things to get yourself out of a pickle, you know, a situation or whatever. And so, do I think they can win? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've seen the effort that they've put forth this year. But I have a little concern that if it's a tight game and things get going in a negative way, I need to see or have a feeling that these guys can, you know, pick each other up and turn it around and respond. And I haven't seen that yet, because the first sign of difficulty from the top to the bottom, everybody panicked like they never played damn football before.
Yeah, that is a tough thing. Like, you know, how many channels did that have to go through that someone at one point didn't stand up and say, kneel the damn ball? From the head coach to the assistant coaches to the person that's in charge of the clock to Tyler Van Dyke to the running backs to everybody. Nobody at one point was like, whoa, wait a second, timeout. Why don't we kneel the ball? Why did nobody say that? Or did somebody maybe say that and they were overruled?
Right.
What would you have done, Leroy? If you were the running back, would you take
Jump on the ground?
Yeah, it just fell down, tripped. You would have tripped.
Got the ball or the quarterback would have said victory.
My question is this, Leroy.
The quarterback would have said victory. You're
the running back. You're a one-time, two-time Rose Bowl MVP?
Yeah.
How many Rose Bowl MVPs do you have?
Two.
Two-time Rose Bowl MVP. And I'm your quarterback, and I said, we're not kneeling the ball. You're running it. I hand you the ball, and you trip and fall down. What are we going to do? Bench you? Not play you anymore? What are we going to do?
Listen, and if anybody has anything to say, and I would respond, the game's over. We won. Shut up.
Yep. I tripped.
That's it.
It didn't look like a trip. Guess what? We tripped. We won. Next, North Carolina. Let's go.
Right. Right.
I mean, the coach isn't going to bench you.
It's just like, first of all, the coach should never put their players in that situation.
And I felt so bad for Chaney. You saw him on the bench just crying his eyes out. Right. And I also felt bad. The referees, I don't think they had an agenda, but at the same time, like, if you were out to get Miami, you can hate the university and what it stands for and its program, but look what you did to that young man.
Can I just say this?
He didn't fumble, by the way.
In life, you should never be rewarded for stupidity.
There you go.
And so what I would say is this. Sometimes officials look at things like this. The fact that you're even in this situation, we are not giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And you can put whatever twist you want on it. Oh, they hate Miami. Well, you know what? According to what happened at the end of the game, Miami hated Miami because you should have never been in that situation. You hate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't then turn around and say, oh, but it wasn't a fumble. Stop.
It's the old thing, Leroy. You know who's never been bitten by a snake?
A snake?
The person that's never seen a snake. And you don't put yourself in those situations. You're not going to get bit by a snake. Same thing.
I'll tell you what. I ain't going to lie. I almost called 911. I came home a while ago, and it was dark, and I opened up the garage door, and it was a snake trying to go into the garage. So I shut the garage door open. I went in around the back. I said, "Hey, I think there's a snake outside." Say, "Well, you ain't get him?" Hell no.
You alerted the authorities.
Right. So I wanted to call 911.
Yes.
So Fonz
Didn't you
went
call
out there.
Tobin?
Fonz went out there and opened the garage door, and he ran away. He went the other way.
Figgy, I'm going to ask you. You seem like you're not scared of snakes.
Oh no, I don't like snakes.
Okay, good.
Really? You just seem like you were walking
So
to work
you wear
with a
it around
snake
your
around your neck.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
combat
I
boots,
just I
you know
don't
that.
trust them. I don't trust them the same way I don't trust a tarantula. I'm sorry.
You know what? They're animals. Of course not.
Yeah, you shouldn't trust them.
You know, there's a whole saying in the hood because a lot of black people don't like dogs, right? And-
But there's snakes all around us.
Wait,
There's
and
snakes all
so
around
and
us,
so
guys.
and so a lot of times, you know, people will come over and they say, he don't bite, he's really nice. He got teeth, don't he? He got teeth, don't he?
Yeah.
So no,
I was like, don't be scared.
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't like I'm not a fan of snakes.
No.
And we had a snake I had a little storage bin, and there was a snake in there, and we were like breaking it down, and there was a snake in there, and I took a picture of it and sent it to Tobin, right? And Tobin said, "Oh, it's poisonous."
Oh,
I'm like, but he was gonna say that regardless. It could have been a garden snake.
dirty.
That's why I don't call Tobin for advice.
That's dirty.
Right? Yeah.
So there was one time where I was leaving my house to go to work, and there was a snake in my living room.
Living room.
Where?
Yeah. And
How big was it?
Pretty much I do. It
They're all
wasn't that
big.
big, but like I was nervous. It was like I think it was probably like a garden snake or something. There was construction over here around the time, and I just didn't know what to do. What I did was a very old Cuban thing. I got a broom and I started pushing it towards
Not a bad
the
idea.
door,
Sounds like a great idea.
and it worked. And that's it. Yeah.
Good job, Figgy.
Yeah, but you just put him right outside the house. He gonna come back in.
Nuh-uh.
He was looking for the palmetto.
I remember I was golfing one time, and the caddy, I hit a ball in some bushes. Caddy was walking through the bushes looking for the ball. He stepped on the snake, and he ran up out of there. So my buddy that I was playing with say, "Oh, you can go back up in there. He probably left."
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I
I'm like,
do.
what kind of logic is that?
That's terrible logic.
Nah, if you step on a snake, though, you got to get the hell up out of there. I mean, you're angering him. You essentially want. Okay, look, this is a very, very. I feel very embarrassed by the situation.
Oh, goodness.
I was at a baby shower, right? It was at one of these new neighborhoods. They had rented the house out. I got probably a little bit drunker than I probably should have. Went outside, kind of regrouped. Walked back in the house like, "Hey, what are we doing?"
Hold on.
Yeah,
Marcos.
I peed outside, Leroy.
this-
If you must know.
Okay.
Save Gal from getting
I was getting ready to say, if you collecting your thoughts outside and regrouping, you ain't drunk. The whole thing of being drunk means you can't collect yourself.
I just prefer peeing outside. I don't get it. Sometimes
You're an adventure peer. I understand. I like it.
So I enter back in the house and I'm like, "What's up? Where are we going? Who's got the shots?" And I noticed there's this family watching a movie, and I'm like, "Wow, when did we put a movie on? That's very strange." I realized I was in someone else's house at that point.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
And immediately walked out. Like, "My bad." Before they even.
Why was their door open?
It was a very nice neighborhood. They
How
probably
did you end up in another yard?
No. So I exited the house, right? They had the baby shower stuff in the backyard, and then party was in the house. I went through the front yard. So it's walk around the neighborhood. It's the same. Every house is built the exact same.
right.
Cars in front of a lot of
track
houses.
housing.
I just go ahead and I go through the front door. It was wide open. I'm like, "Oh, we're watching a movie? That's strange." We were just having a party. And then they realized, they said, "Who the hell?" And then I immediately got out of there.
I'd like to say I never made that mistake, but I made that mistake.
The cops were called. Just wanted
No.
the cops were
Of course.
No, that's not cool.
No, they were,
Wait.
they were
You didn't really.
Hey,
You didn't do anything
No,
wrong.
not at all. But
except peeing a yard.
Except walking to
Okay, yeah, but like,
wait. That's still
but it was
called
a mistake, and
trespassing.
he just walked out.
That's
though.
still called trespassing.
It is still trespassing.
I
yeah.
can assume where you feel a little unsafe.
And you were drunk, so that also a
Yes.
drunk man walking randomly into your house.
What's up, shots, everyone? And then walk the
I
hell
mean,
out.
we're from New Orleans, so bygones be bygones. But that's
Yeah,
no.
this is an accident. Not my proudest moment. So yeah, it's almost like stepping on a snake in a bush. And then
So that's
I'm not connecting those two.
This is where we got to.
yes, it was. We were starting talking about. He said, "Speaking of stepping on the snake in the bush, and next thing you know,
You're peeing in public and walking and trespassing into people's houses drunk.
right pond, wrong lily pad."
Words to live by. Up next, we got some Dolphins sound. We're gonna get into Dolphins, Carolina Panthers next on 560 WQAM.
Florida Lexus dealers 15 minutes of game day uncensored.
Let's go! Sponsored by South Florida Lexus dealers. Experience amazing.
Leroy, you got to tell me this. Even though the Panthers are terrible and the Dolphins might be the best team in the NFL, they cannot sleep on this game. It is not just going to be a lark, a walk in the park this weekend. Am I correct?
No, they got pros too.
Yeah, you're pros.
You can't never take it. You can't never take it for granted. They have some talent on that team. So you just got to handle your business. Take care of business and grow. You're in a different place than they are.
Obviously.
And that's what needs to show.
But it's any given Sunday.
Okay, great. But again, you're in a different place than they are.
Just take care of business.
Right, exactly.
Well, Mike McDaniel's not taking it for granted. He says this Panthers, we're not taking it for granted at all.
Bottom line is this is the National Football League. So I know one thing. The Carolina Panthers have everything to gain. They're going to come to Hard Rock and not care about any sort of stat that you guys want to throw out at them. They're going to try to win together as a team to change that feeling. And, you have to be aware of that. And not to mention the fact that they're littered with NFL playmakers. So, there's, maybe teams like to look at win-loss or whatever. We just look at the bottom line. The tape shows a team that's going to come not only compete, but they're going to do it in a physical fashion. And they are sick of having that feeling, and they're going to want to change it. So that's the force that we're facing this week, which is why I'm just glad you guys think today's so important, because I do too.
Littered with playmakers.
Yeah.
Like who?
Yeah, I'm trying to go through it.
Greg Olsen? Is he still there?
Nah, he's announcing now.
Oh, okay.
Not taking him for granted. Okay, well, Mike McDaniel doubled down, and he once again said, this is not a team to be just taken lightly.
You guys would have no idea about a franchise losing 5 in a row, would you? Yeah. It's the most dangerous opponent you can play, because losing, let alone just losing in general in the league, you have to sit on it for a week, and you put a lot of time into it, and you can't do anything about it for 1 week. Well, you go to work every day. And then, after 5 games, your point differential in the first half is 1 point, and you haven't won a game yet. It is not fun. So you will do anything to change that. And I think that is something that, we have direct recall on, just very recent. And how powerful that is. That teams in that process, while they may feel a certain way, that ends up bonding people and making teams that much tighter.
All right. Thanks, Mike McDaniel, for all that. Leroy, what was your longest losing streak as a football player?
Well, my rookie year, we went 3-13.
They had a rough rookie year.
Yeah.
But how many of those were in a row?
So a lot of these situations that we hear, between Steve Smith and Jerry Jeudy and all these guys, I've experienced. So I understand where each side is coming from. You know what I mean? I understand where Jerry Jeudy is. I was in a locker room that was like that. Like, it becomes, I put in all my work and I do everything I need to do, but this guy isn't doing his job, or this guy isn't doing his job, or the quarterback is not reading the defense as well. And at some point, it just sucks the life out of you. So for players to act like it doesn't affect you, it does.
How high do you get when you win a game in the NFL, and also how low do you get when you lose? Because it seems like when guys win, I mean, just a regular win is unbelievable.
It's just like it feels good to put all the work in during the week and know that you're on the right track, right? So as these weeks add up and you start piling victories, you like to know that you're on the right track to get to the ultimate goal. If you're losing a lot of games, you're always searching. So you're tweaking here, you're tweaking there. You don't know what's working, what's not working, and you're on this season-long hunt to get into a groove where something will work consistently. And so it becomes, difficult, especially if there were expectations on you, especially if, the questions are never, take all of that into account. New coach, new quarterback, young quarterback, growing pain. They don't care about that. So yeah, it's a tough thing, man.
Speaking of quarterbacks, we expect Tua Tagovailoa to have a huge week this week, but like Mike McDaniel, Tua not taking for granted the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that they do well within their personnels of how they use certain guys. I think they do really well playing together. Teams like this that are 0-5 is not necessarily a reflection of the offense, the defense, their special teams. Merely just being in the NFL, you get into some games that are very close, and then some can just get away just like that. And I think they're continuing to find who they are as a team, and they play really, really hard, and that's what we know we're going to get. So we have to be prepared for them.
So what Tua is saying is, and Leroy, let me know this. Carolina comes up, a couple things go their way, they're ahead in the game, things start going their way. There's a good chance that if things start going their way, that they can get that momentum and possibly win this game.
I wouldn't just dismiss it, but I would say that teams like Carolina are looking for a sign, something to reward them for all the work that they've put in, right? Same thing with Denver. Same thing with, like, you go into every week with a game plan thinking this is our advantage, this is what we need to take advantage of. And the coaches, the organization, everybody is trying to find that one thing. So the coaches want to be able to go back to the players and say, see, I told you last week what will work. If we executed, this is what we're capable of, right? And as you lose more and more games, you start losing ears. You start losing guys who will listen to that nonsense because they ain't winning. And so it gets frustrating. Now, the only difference is when you have a young team, you already have a built-in excuse. They're young. The quarterback's going through some growing pains or what have you. So yeah, it's a tough thing, man. It's a tough, especially when everybody can't go undefeated. So there's always going to be pissed off fans, pissed off people. Look at the Jets. What did the Jets think before the season started?
They're going to win the Super Bowl.
Right. Because they got A-Rod. Right?
You got Dalvin Cook, and they got this great defense, Sauce Gardner, all those guys.
Right.
Still got a great defense.
And who was the last person on their mind when the season started?
Zach
Wilson. Correct. Now look who your quarterback is. So that's the nature of it, man. It's tough. It's tough. You go into every week, you game plan, you watch film, you think you have, you think you know what you need to do, but it all boils down to, it doesn't really matter what you do as much as it matters how you do it. Right? How you do things. And I think that's the thing that impresses you about San Francisco. That's the thing that impresses you about, you want to say about Philadelphia.
Push.
Is that they're all on the same page when they're doing things. And hopefully the Dolphins can get to that level, but there's still some things on defense that, everybody needs to feel comfortable with.
Do you agree with Tua that the Carolina Panthers do a lot of things right? I thought that was weird.
Because you're looking at their record. You have to understand, listen, when you watch film, you don't watch film or know what the record is. You're just watching film and see what they do and how they gonna attack you. So you're not looking at it from, say Carolina played the Saints beat up on them. You're not looking at that from that standpoint. You're looking at only the best of what they do. So yeah, it's a weird thing, man. Like some of the worst talent in the league can get hot and win a couple of games. And the fear is you don't want it to be you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Dolphins just need to go out there and take care of business. Do what they do.
Yep. I mean, think about this. Remember the 85 Bears?
Yeah.
Remember how crazy that game was down here in Miami? Right.
Saved the day. What a game.
I mean, I guess.
Saved the day.
They still went on to win the Super Bowl, but like all you remember is who won the one game.
Right. And like we said earlier in the show, this is the theme of the show. It's not the game you win, it's when you win the game.
Yes.
Trust me, Leroy, you were on a great team. You were on a really good Vikings
we lost
team.
at the worst time.
At the worst, you would have taken a regular season embarrassment any day of the week.
Yep.
Over that crappy Falcons team.
Yep.
I'm still sour about it, man. And yeah, it had to hurt a little more for you, Leroy. Falcons, Atlanta.
That's not even the worst part. That
Chris
year, the Super Bowl was in Miami, and I could see the fireworks from my house. And I played in every NFL stadium except one.
Really?
This one.
You never played at Joe Robbie?
Nope. Never played Joe Robbie.
See if we can get you on a one-day contract, maybe.
No, dude, let me explain something to you.
I'm suit up.
Have
you ever seen me walking around that facility? The building right there.
Yeah.
Going up and down them stairs and walking down that hall.
Yep.
I ain't doing nothing. Listen, I would pay money for you not to ask me to play football.
Man, all I'm saying, Leroy, 3rd and 2.
Oh, give it to Leroy.
Do I have to get down in the stands or bend or run?
No. You can just put your
push. We'll push the running back.
We'll put a fullback behind
I got
you.
that gun. Look, I all hands on deck because
I think you can get me 3 yards, Leroy. Trust me.
No, I can't. Hey, listen. Hey, all those people talking about, you see that commercial with Emmitt Smith and Dan Marino and all of them say, I think we can make a comeback. Hey, I ain't even suggesting it. No, listen, I'm one of the few players. When I said I was done, I was done.
All right.
I have no regrets, no nothing. I think I still might have the copy of the contract that was sent to me. Right? No.
Okay.
Not doing it. No chance.
Leroy Hort is off the market.
That's right.
Do not call. Do not write. Not coming back.
You know when
yards, 1 yard.
I put a DNR on my career when I quit. Do not resuscitate. It's over. It's over.
Let me flatline. Your career is flatline.
My career is flatline.
Oh man, we're gonna get hype next. I want to bring Figgy in. We're gonna talk about some candy next. Marcos, I know you got some candy talk. We're gonna do that here on the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM. Candy. I'm watching ESPN right now, and they're live from the University of Washington because it's that
8
Washington.
versus 7.
Nice little trip out there. Leroy, did you ever play Washington, or did you ever go up to Seattle? Is Pat McAfee drinking a beer? Okay, good job by him. Did you ever go up to Washington?
I've been to the Nike facility, so that's
okay. Man,
in Oregon.
University of Washington is just unbelievable. Beautiful.
Well, everything up that way.
Yeah, it is nice.
Stanford, Cal,
Oregon, Portland.
Oregon.
I know Figgy loves the weirdness of Portland. Figgy, you want to go to Portland? You and me.
Never gone, but I hear it's weird.
It is weird.
I'm always curious about weird.
I did play in Seattle.
Oh, so yeah. Well, you played everywhere but Joe Robbie. So
yeah, I played in Seattle at the old Kingdom.
Cool. What a
and
dog.
Guess what? Just imagine like weather in England, misty.
Yeah,
that's how it is in Seattle.
It's always been beautiful when I've gone up there, but then again, I'm hitting the bars at like 11 a.m. So
I may never go to Portland. Actually,
oh, Portland's great.
I don't even want to give that. I don't want to give that place any of my money after what they did to me.
Oh, you got a little
Joe Cronin knows what
he's Tobin's representative.
No, I'm just saying, like, why would I want to go to that bum ass place?
Hey.
No one wants to even be there.
Hey, be careful, man.
Tell you what, though, Marcos.
Yeah,
a lot of hills.
Yeah, exactly.
Up and down and up and down. Like it was crazy.
Hills are dumb.
There's a couple of weird hubs in this United States. Portland is the West weird hub.
Yeah. Key
In
West. That's the East one.
Oh, really? Okay. I know Asheville, North Carolina. They say it's the weird of the East Coast. They haven't went that weird. Madison, Wisconsin was weird. Midwest weird, man.
Wisconsin.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, whenever I think of Portland, obviously, aside from sports, I think about New Girl because Jess is from Portland and she's so weird and I love it.
See, there you go, Figgy. Let's plan a trip. Let's go. I'll
can't go.
Can't go.
Joe Cronin.
Joe Cronin. That's right. Well, I mean, you can go cuss him
I
out.
want you to bump into him.
I would love to actually. Yeah, that's good. But he's got to meet me at the border.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marcos, you got some candy for us? Break it down. What
I
we got?
do indeed. Yeah, let's get some candy talk in. I know that what everybody's been asking me. Halloween's coming up. What are the 31 best candies for Halloween?
Get in my
I
mouth.
can tell you what the two worst are.
Oh, don't do it.
No.
Candy corn and any marshmallow treat.
See, look, that's we're gonna bring that up now too. In this list that I have compiled, one, I'm also I don't anyone who may object to my list, go to hell. I don't have any explanation.
Number one,
there's no chocolate, no chocolates allowed.
What?
That's its own list. That's its own list, guys. Look, I don't make the rules. all
Wait,
right?
wait. So
no
no peanut butter eggs or no peanut butter.
I was about to say
nothing chocolate related. That's not candy. That's chocolate.
Oh, so you're coming from a smoker's perspective. No, when I get with my friends and we smoke, or they smoke.
Oh yeah, all right.
And I'm always like, oh man, let's get some almond
here's
joys.
a New Orleans one.
It's not candy.
Hey, I got one for you, Dan. Wine candy.
Oh,
Wine candy.
That's what we call Jolly Ranchers.
yeah, because you put them in liquor and alcohol.
Wine candy.
That green apple is banging though.
Yeah.
Some candies
Probably my
that
favorite
would
one.
make the list. All the ones inside of your grandmother's purse. Those are not making the list. I'm
Hey,
gonna say.
by the way,
What's your high candy?
them soft mints,
Yeah.
them soft mints could kick the sharpest of rocks. It's like
Also,
only 80-year-olds have them.
No mint, no gum, no chocolate, no marshmallows, no fruit snacks. All right, we're talking.
Okay, so wait, what are we doing here? What are
high
we doing here,
candy.
Marcos?
When you're high, the candy. Yeah,
31.
Here we go.
We got 31 of the best candies to receive on Halloween, and we're gonna give you half of the list right now. We're starting at number 31. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
31. I know someone is like, really? We're gonna go through all 31.
It's like
Yeah, all right, we're going to 15. 31 lifesavers.
My lifesavers are good.
Yeah, good.
I like those. I like those.
I like soon as they ventured into the tropical flavors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like that.
That's what we're talking about. No one's ever going to be like, get me some lifesavers, but if you have some, it's not bad. It's
Oh,
not bad.
you're offering lifesavers. I'm taking them. I'm not going to buy them.
Yeah.
Number 30.
We still touching each other's candy though, because you know they're not individual. Unless you get them at Thanksgiving. I mean, unless you get them at unless you get them to give and put put in the bags and stuff.
Yeah,
Then they come individually wrapped.
Oh, those individuals.
Yeah.
30. Number 30, Mike and Ike's.
Yeah.
Out of just respect.
That's a movie theater. That's movie theater. Candy.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is Mike and Ike's and Good and Plenty's the same company?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm
But
hot tamales.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Licorice sucks.
Oh yeah. Tell you what, this is gonna be an upset, guys. I didn't want to bring this up yet. Twizzlers did not make the list.
I hate Twizzlers.
Oh
They didn't make the list.
darn!
I know everyone's
It has
asking
no
about that one. Number 29. This is where we start getting to, we move away from the basic stuff. 29, Laffy Taffy. No one's gonna be like, let me get one.
We should have started the segment with that song.
Hey, so wait, here's the problem.
Yeah.
If you have a loose tooth, Laffy Taffy will get it right out.
Honestly,
Laffy Taffy, and wait, here's another childhood candy.
Yeah.
Now and laters.
Wait. Let's not get
I
crazy.
feel like a Laffy Taffy will take
Banana?
out a retainer, and I'm not with that.
Yes.
My retainers are
Anything, wait, J
Also-
Fig, Laffy Taffy would take anything loose in your mouth. You don't need to floss. Just eat some Laffy Taffy. It'll get everything up out of there.
that's
Laffy
disturbing.
Taffy also provides jokes. They have jokes
is
on their
true.
wrapper too, so that gives them points. Number 28, Ring Pop. I'm gonna tell you why. Ring Pop, not only is it a good lollipop candy, also responsible for my 3 first girlfriends in second grade.
It's true. Yeah.
That's
That's
up,
what
baby.
Hey, wait.
Take this
Why you
Ring
messing around? When I
Yeah.
got engaged to Big Spoon,
Uh-huh.
Ring Pop.
I told you.
Oh, that's so cute though. Like coming from Leroy.
Yeah.
Ring Pop. No, I had a whole little thing. So I sent her some flowers at work, right? And then I sent directions. Go into your drawer, get this, then do this, then put this ring on, and then come outside. And then I was there with the real ring.
Look at
Oh,
that.
okay.
That's so
And guess what?
What did
I'm
you do with
glad
the
I
ring?
only had to do it once.
Yeah. Well, what happens to the ring pop? Do you eat it, or you just save it, or do you throw it? What goes on with that?
No, I don't know what. Like, I don't know. Throw it
To
away.
this day, it's in a
Where
Hey,
is the ring pop
once-
today?
Hey, once I put that once I
real
gave
ring?
her the real ring,
She
I don't know
forgot
where
about
ring
the other
pop-
one,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, when
pretty
you busting out 5 carats, flawless done.
No, we ain't doing it. Come on, baby. Come on.
What if you open the drawer and there's just a bunch of carrots?
No,
How would you feel about that?
5 carats. Got you a 5-carat ring. Ring pop and 5 carats.
That's
Like,
so
right?
cool.
Very
No,
romantic.
but so and I gave her a card. I gave her 2 cards, right? One
Yeah.
card said yes, one card said no. Right.
Ooh,
And I
don't
made
get
a
that
big
option.
one. Right.
Oh, maybe
So
you get
I took the no, and to this day, 20 years, it's in a frame in my house.
Wow.
And every time I tell her, every time I say, you had a choice. You chose yes.
Look at the frame.
Ooh,
Look at the frame.
Yep.
So when she's mad at me, I go run and get it.
accountability.
But we go from one lollipop to another. The only reason why this lollipop is above the ring pop is because this one provides a little bit of gum on the inside. We're gonna go with a blow pop at 20.
Oh, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Wait. Here we go.
Oh.
Blow pop, Tootsie Roll.
I don't
Or
know.
the
The
Tootsie
Tootsie Roll
Pop.
lollipop?
Tootsie Pop.
Gotcha.
Tootsie Pop.
But this is the thing. Blow pop gives me gum. Tootsie Pop
Tootsie
just
Pop gives you chocolate.
Yeah, it's trying to be
Plus,
too much.
wait,
Yeah.
Tootsie Pop had the famous commercial.
I know.
How many licks does it take to get to the middle of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop?
A
A
one,
one, a
a
two.
two, three. Oh man, I don't know.
You know, wait, and as a kid, how often did you get a Tootsie Pop, and you tried to go all the way to the chocolate with all the candy gone?
No, I never finished them. I couldn't do it.
Look,
Too
you're
much.
impatient, Dan. Patience, baby.
I am
Patience.
very impatient.
I
person.
do bite all lollipops. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You do?
I do. Even
You
Jolly
don't
Rancher.
do you? But my question is for the gum. You got to eat all the candy before you get to the gum, because then the
Yeah.
candy is going to be caught up in the gum, and it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, not great gum too, by the way. But it's fine. Look,
You can,
I know we're up against it, so I'm gonna give you 2 more to get us to 25. Maybe next hour I'll give you some more. But
Yeah, just sprinkle them throughout the
Okay,
show.
go.
number 26, just out of respect, we're gonna give it to Swedish Fish. mainly just a respect thing. You know,
That's a movie candy.
Yeah. Again, that's just respect.
That's
Not too
one of
much
those things
flavor
like
there.
you get Halloween, you get all types of candy. It's like the last you eat, but you still eat it because
You
it's
still
candy.
eat it, for sure.
I
Now,
dare eat it.
25. This one, more uses than one. Pop Rocks.
Oh,
Give me Pop Rocks.
I hate Pop Rocks.
I love Pop Rocks.
I was never so fond of it.
No, it's like a party in your mouth and everyone's invited.
There you go. There you
Okay.
go. There you go.
disgusting.
Dan gets it.
You know why? Because you know what? You were one of those degenerate kids that did other stuff with the Pop Rocks instead of just eating them. So that's why, right? Pour them in soda. You know, the Pop Rock thing. Yeah,
That's what they were
I
there
thought-
for.
Oh, I thought Leroy, you were coming in right at the right time on the weekend. Want to do a Pop
Now, you know
Rock?
what? Now it is time for break.
Broadcasting live from the Ed Moore
Man. I wonder if D. Pharrell knew they had that big of a hit on their hands.
Woo!
No, because they sound like they was in the studio just acting a fool.
No, they did, because D4L actually stands for done for life, and they knew that after this song they were done for life. All they need.
I'm not even playing around. One time when this song was hot, I had a record rep from their record label being like, "Man, we can get you a special act to play your music festivals." Like, who is it? Like, get someone like D. Pharrell. And I was like, "No, thanks. No, I'm good."
Come on, you didn't want to hear Laffy.
I'll take the main. Thank you.
Come on, Laffy Taffy for 10 minutes straight.
Yeah, I know. I figured the main might have had a little more staying power with their songs than playing Laffy Taffy with 50 people on stage for 10 minutes, you know.
Who needs the main? More of an appetizer guy.
This weekend, no Devon Achane, no Teron Armstead.
Damn it.
Maybe no Connor Williams. That might be a little more worrisome. But nonetheless, Leroy, nothing to extremely worry about, correct?
They've done a really good job, especially with the O-line, with the defense, with the wide receivers. Guys have been out all year, and they've still executed pretty well. So I'm not ever worried about injuries because, you know, when we thought before the season started, this O-line, what are we going to do with this O-line? And they've been pretty good this year.
And
so I'm not going to question how the team is put together because they've had guys to fill in and hold the fort down until those guys come back.
And that's the thing they say about O-line. It's about talent, of course, but it's about gelling and being on the same page.
Playing together.
I mean, look what Kansas City did forever with no drafted linemen. And they, you know, I mean, they had Patrick Mahomes. That's different. But, you know, the O-line gels were fine.
I just think it has more to do with continuity and some talent. You can't have all talent and no continuity. It's not going to work because there's certain things that an offensive line has to do together that you're not going to get a good feel about it until you do it together a number of times. And so for everybody to talk about these players, and when you think about it, they've been pretty consistent with their O-line. They've kept a lot of guys. They haven't added a whole new group of guys every year, and so they've grown together. So
gotta give Austin Jackson credit too, man. Austin Jackson.
Remember, hey, we had
I wanted to cut
Austin Jackson was Eichenberg before Eichenberg.
I wanted to cut him, to be honest
right?
with you.
Think about it. The way we talk about Austin Jackson. Now we're talking about Austin Jackson like he's one of the pieces of glue to hold it together.
He's an anchor.
An anchor. Right. Man. So I'm always going to be patient with that because those guys have insight to a lot more than we do. Right. And so far, with some of the decisions that we have questioned as a whole, as far as the O-line, as far as the secondary, as far as the receivers, and all those things, their moves have shown that they know what the hell they're doing. So if somebody's out, I'm still good.
What did you always say, Leroy? You're patient with players because people were patient with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? Every morning I get up. Thank you, Jesus, for this beautiful day. And thank God I didn't have somebody like Tobin commenting on my play.
I'll tell you this, though.
Because I don't know how many times he would hit me with the fat cat syndrome. I said, man, I'll be here for 2 minutes.
Leroy, if you would have fumbled in the last 30 seconds against Georgia Tech, I would have been.
Oh, my goodness.
I'd have been ready.
And I wish more players thought like that, because all of a sudden, I ain't going to be the guy to all of a sudden say that my career was perfect and I did everything the right way so I can stand on my soapbox and tell others what's the right way to do things. In fact, I do the opposite. I tell people what my struggles were and how I took me a minute to get acclimated to the NFL, right? And I use it to explain to other people that maybe other players are going through that. It's not as easy as people make it sound. And then you have all these old guys saying what this kid should be right away. I'm like, come on, man. It's a new job. You ever went to a new job? I don't care what job you go into. You know the first thing they do? I don't care what your background is. You're going to have a couple of weeks of training.
Yeah, because you have to learn the way they do things.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, they train people?
Hey.
I just follow Dan around.
I do want to, just follow me. That might not be the best thing. Man, that Christmas day.
But I'm just saying, like, as a whole, we act as if though, that we ourselves were perfect right away.
Right.
But we expect these athletes to be that way. I'm never going to be that guy.
So
now, I get on athletes. I'm not going to say I don't. But I'm a little more understanding of situations like that. That's right. That was my first time cussing by offensive line. That's right.
Oh, okay. I was like, just now? I missed it. Quick.
Oh, no.
So, Leroy, just selfishly, what, in your opinion, was the weakest part of your game?
It took me a couple of years to become a pro. Right? It took me a couple of seasons. One, because we were 3-13 my first year. I lost more games my first year in the NFL than I did in college and high school put together. So that was an adjustment. The next year when Bill came in, right, he probably had the best attitude. The best, thing for me personally is I don't care who you are, you got to earn the right to be on the field. So it was almost like a clean slate, right? And it was a little bumpy, but I got it and I built it up. And then he got fired and we moved to Baltimore and it was almost like new coach, you got to start over again. It didn't work out. I ended up in Carolina and then I ended up in Minnesota. And, they were like, hey, do you? Right? And I had people in the locker room say, hey, man, you don't realize that Denny will cut your ass. You better stop that. And kept me in check. Right? And then as I got into it with Minnesota, and I became, it took me a while to become a professional football player. And so I understand what I went through and the things how hard it was for me to get to that point where I was doing all the right things and doing, the preparation and all that. And so when I see other young men going through the same situations, I will point out some things, but I'm always going to have I'm going to be a little sympathetic simply because I know what I went through. Right? Like I'm not one of those guys, those former players that's going to sit here and say, oh, this is what he should be doing, this, and this. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to like, all of a sudden, first of all, think about this. It'll be the first time in your life that you ever compete against somebody that's maybe 10 or 12 years older than you. Right?
Yeah.
So you've never had that. There's age limits for everything growing up. Yeah, all of sports.
I mean, even in high school, when you're a sophomore and you're playing against seniors, it seems like the age
2 years.
Huge.
It's 2 years though.
Pros, it's different.
Just imagine when I first got into the NFL, I went to Cleveland. We had Clay Matthews Sr. and we had Ozzie Newsome. Their first years in the league, I was 8 years old. And now they're my teammates. Think about that. It's a different thing where you physically competing against guys that are much older than you and smarter than you. So it takes time sometimes.
Got to be patient. Let's get to these headlines real quick. These headlines are brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store?
Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks. I got my anti-JFig truck out today.
Whoa, keep the birds away.
Why?
Because you like black trucks, and that is the opposite of a black truck.
Okay.
White truck?
It's a white truck, right. It wasn't nothing against JFig. It was just, she said she liked black truck. Got
all white cars. Undercover.
Undercover.
Yep.
Nah. Dude, now
white
they put
items. Can't trust a white lighter either.
White lighter.
Yep.
Isn't that the one that kills people?
Yeah, that's the one. It's part of the 27 Club. White lighter.
I've heard this myth.
See?
Or maybe not myth. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
no.
I believe in superstition.
Never know.
I'm very superstitious.
Don't step on a crack. It's Friday the 13th. No one's
I
mentioned
know,
it.
and I was going to mention that earlier.
Friday
It
the
is
13th.
No wonder my life is falling. Never mind the Guinness and stuff that I drank at Duffy's last night, but my life is falling apart because it's Friday the 13th.
That's right. Someone wants to step on a crack. Broke your back.
Mom's back. I know.
Hey,
Sunday.
settle down, Zach Wilson. Talking about breaking mama's back and all that stuff.
You need to chill.
1 o'clock. Panthers, Dolphins, Hard Rock Stadium. Let's get it on.
Let's get it. Now, like I just want to see them get back on track to continue building because again, this team has a bigger goals than just winning a couple of games. They want to get to being the best version of themselves towards the end of the season. And so I like, you have setbacks because I love the way the Canes were headed. And then that, right?
Still should have won the game.
Yeah, of course. But, same thing for the Dolphins. I like watching, more importantly, the defense. How's the defense growing? Are they still gonna are you to the point now when you can get to the point where you say, all right, it's time for us to put a little heat on these fools. And then you have that defense, you remember last year or a couple of years ago, 11 men up, and that was fun. Everybody was lined up on the line of scrimmage. Yeah. And they coming. That was fun. But this defense, it seems like it's more of a sit back, react, and stuff like that. I want to see a little more action. Right.
Yeah.
Let's get after it.
I think sometimes you got to force the issue.
Canes getting after it with North Carolina tomorrow, 7:30 here on 560 WQAM. This right here is going to be a measuring.
This is.
I wish we were
the biggest game of Mario Cristobal's tenure because this is a team you haven't had success against. You finally got a lot of your guys that you want in. You finally been playing good football. You got everybody on track. I want to see, okay, if it doesn't go your way right away, are you going to stay poised and committed to it? Or is everybody going to break up like they did last week? You see what I'm saying? Where everybody abandoned. We had a whole bunch of penalties, whole bunch of turnovers. Everybody just lost
boneheaded play at the end.
Right, exactly. So I want to see, football's not going to always go smoothly.
Nope.
There's been even Georgia struggled in a game. They all struggle in games. But if you're going to be one of those teams, you got to stay the course. And I want to see this will be a big test to see if they stay the course and continue on the path of getting better every week.
If you like backups, the Heat, they play San Antonio at 7:30 tonight. Basically, all backups for the Heat. Not a lot of players dressing out tonight.
You say backups. I say a lot of opportunists.
That's true.
A lot of opportunists.
Cole Swider. That's what I'm mean. Yeah. Swider man.
One more quick.
Look out.
Swag.
Here comes the Swider man.
I don't think anybody's surprised. The Phillies eliminated the 104-win Braves last night, 3-1.
All the 100-win teams are out.
And the Braves.
Look at that.
So Braves. It was the Orioles, the Braves, the Dodgers. Who else won a Hundy? Did Houston win a Hundy?
Houston's still alive though.
Yeah, they went on. So Houston's the last team.
Texas ALCS, by the way.
Houston won 90, by the way.
90. Okay. Who won a Hundy?
All Texas ALCS, man. That's exciting for me, being from the deep South, man. You got those teams on TV every day now.
Let's see. Orioles with 101 in the National League. Braves had 104. Dodgers with 100. And that's pretty much it as far as 100 wins.
Man, if the Marlins could have just gotten through the Phillies, I guarantee they would have beaten the Braves.
Hey,
guarantee.
By the way, while we messing around, the Phillies look really good.
Yeah.
Phillies.
No, dude. Dude,
that one loss to the Braves, that was a
who else is left? They're gonna win. The Rays? I don't know.
the Rays are way
they're
gone.
out.
The Rays didn't even score a run.
Rays, by the way, 99 wins.
Yeah, hottest start in Major League Baseball history, and
look at
the
that.
worst finish in Major League Baseball history, going over for 2 games. Terrible. Up next, though, speaking of terrible, Neil the Ball. Hurricanes were terrible at the end of last game. We're gonna kind of get into that, plus some Marcos's candy. Tobin and Leroy, 560 WQAM. All aboard! Hurricanes looking to bounce back after an infuriating, I'm not going to say disappointing. I was literally mad. Leroy, Marcos, J-Fig at the end of that game, angry about the outcome of that game. I was angry. I had to remind
I was
myself.
there, so imagine the anger.
You were there? If I would have spent the time and the money and the effort to go there and seen that.
Poor J Fig had to save all her Odyssey points for that.
Oh, did you get good seats at least? My favorite thing about these Odyssey points, not to get off the subject. So I get like 40, and they're like, "Why aren't you spending them?" I look, there's like nothing for under like 180.
There's nothing.
What am I gonna do? Oh no, you should buy these socks. Huh?
J Fig gave me 5 points the other day. I appreciate that.
I'll give you all.
I got 5 points too. I have a total of 28.
Nice.
That will buy you
guys
nothing.
Let's pool our points together. Maybe we can share a pair of socks.
I know. Okay. Miami Hurricanes.
18 years, and all I have to show for it.
Will they pay you out?
20 something Odyssey points.
Will they pay you out for your Odyssey points? Like half a nickel for every 100 points?
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still worried about these Hurricanes. North Carolina, this was supposed to be the game of the week. If the Hurricanes would have just done their part, kneeled down, if the referees would have actually called the game straight up, no inconclusive evidence.
Listen, Dan, you're my boy. Don't mention officials.
I know you got to take care of this.
It shouldn't have never got that far, right? You can blame Chaney. You can blame the fact that a team miraculously went 75 yards in 30 seconds. You can blame all that. It shouldn't have never got to that point. If not for one boneheaded play, the decision, all the other things don't happen.
Once again, Leroy, you played college football at a very high level, obviously, 2-time Rose Bowl MVP. Want to bring that back. Would there be a point you would, even in the huddle, be like, wait, whoa, would you have spoken up as a college player and just be like, whoa, no.
Can I say this? Everybody knew when it was time for victory.
Yeah.
So when you're driving the ball and they got the ball with like 5+ minutes left, and they did an incredible job of running the clock out. When it gets to the point where the game's over, everybody in the huddle knows. Okay? Yeah. Everybody knows. Now, I've never been in a situation where there was a question of whether we're taking a knee or not. Never. Because that's the whole point of the game, to get to that point where you can just take a knee and run the clock out. So I've never had a coach say, let's run another play. No, I've never had it. What happened last week is something, as long as I've been around football, I have never experienced. Never.
No. I mean, I'm even going to say this. One time, high school basketball, up by 4 with like 20 seconds left, and the coach was like, no, let's try to score. Just held the ball. And he's like, well, you need to listen to what I say. And like you said, we won.
Right.
What are you going to do? Figgy, what was the reaction in the stadium? Like, was it just in disbelief? Was it in shock? Was it not knowing what was going on? Were people upset? Were people saying words that they shouldn't be saying, at least around children? What was kind of the reaction in the crowd?
Literally all the above.
Hey,
it went through stages. It was just quiet and disbelief, and then it just went to straight rage.
Yeah, that's me.
I would say this, is that you ever notice that all these fans and all these people watching football will get on an athlete talking about there's kids watching, but in moments like that, they don't give a damn about their own kids? Because some of the language you hear at a stadium, the fighting, the brawls, all that. What if an athlete would look up and say, what about the kids?
Oh, ego trip. Too much.
I just think, look, it's time for us, and I'm going to say this as a person who has given Mario Cristobal all the blame. Not 50, not 70, all of the blame. Okay? That's a decision that comes from the head coach, and you say, take a damn knee. Right? That being said, they win this week.
It's over.
It's a moot point.
I believe this, and I've noticed this throughout my illustrious career in broadcasting. A lot of teams, they lose a game they're not supposed to lose. They win a game they're not supposed to win. I have a feeling that maybe this could be the week for Miami. They lost when they weren't supposed to lose last week, but maybe this week, maybe they weren't supposed to win in North Carolina. Maybe they get the win.
Yeah, I hope so. Listen, if I eliminate last week's game and all the boneheadedness going throughout that game, the mistakes, the turnovers, the coaching decisions, whatever, right? And they win this game, you're thinking something totally different. So I'm not going to just make one bad week ruin what was being built the last 2 years. However, they didn't help me any with all the nonsense they were talking about in the beginning of the week, right? They didn't help.
That didn't help. But as a North Carolina fan, you're nervous right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because
because
it's a good team that has a lot to prove now.
Listen, last week or not, they still had a lot to prove because you ain't beat North Carolina forever. And in fact, the last 2 seasons, they punked you. They pushed you around like you were their chew toy.
Be careful.
How else would you explain a team running for 500 yards on you? A 300-yard rusher and a 200-yard rusher. Stop. So if you need any incentive to go out there and play your best game, just show that film.
Simple enough. Marcos, Candy, next here on Tobin and Leroy, 560 WQAM. So we got the Dolphins taking on the lowly Carolina Panthers. They are an NFL team, though, so watch out. You got the Hurricanes trying to bounce back from that infuriating loss to Georgia Tech against North Carolina, but also it's getting near candy time. It is almost Halloween, and Marcos, you got some more candy for us on this top 31 list.
Absolutely. This is 31 best candies for Halloween. I mentioned it before. The rules are simple. No chocolates, no marshmallows, no fruit snacks, and no mints. I want the good stuff. The good stuff. Just a quick recap. 31 through 25, where we left off. 31 was, can't even find it, Lifesavers. 30 was Mike and Ike. A lot of these were respect. I'm not gonna, these are the respect rounded out the list there. 29, Laffy Taffy. 28, Ring Pop. 27, Blow Pop. Then the last two that I gave, Pop Rocks and Swedish Fish, were 26 and 25.
All right.
Guys, ready
Now,
for
does the Swedish Fish have to be red or could it be tropical feeder?
I thought it had to be red, right?
Only red.
You love the tropical.
I've never had the
tropical flavors. That's good.
I'm just saying.
Fancy
Listen, yeah.
All right. What else you got, Marcos? Come on, let's get some
All right,
candy.
let's get number 24 here. All right, number 24. This one's a bit of a twofer, although one of them I'm not a fan of. The other one is just so good and so undeniable that you gotta love it. Number 24 is Fun Dip.
Oh, I was gonna say, man, where's Fun Dip coming? I saved one of the sticks just to eat by itself.
That's the problem.
Wait. First of all, of all the candies that are available, that's the least shareable.
But that's candy cocaine.
You gotta wet it. You gotta wet it to dip it, or it won't stick.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Can you still buy Fun Dip? I don't even know. Like,
They have it like Halloween. You'll see Fun Dip.
Okay, I love it. It's cocaine candy or candy cocaine, whatever you want to do.
23. That one is this one it comes in different brands, but essentially you guys have seen them. The watermelon shaped sour candies. Usually they're Sour Jack watermelon.
Oh, the chew, yeah,
right.
Watermelon. They're solid 23. They have just the right amount of sour and watermelon to just
you can just like put them in your mouth and suck the sour off of them and then chew them up.
Absolutely. That's the good stuff. I'm gonna give you the whoa, this is sour. It's gonna be like, this is sour. It's different.
Well, if that's I know what better be above them.
What's that?
Lemon heads.
Oh, lemon.
Right, look. Number 20.
Getting carried away.
Yeah, can't get too ahead of ourselves.
I like
23 is watermelon. Like I said, the sour candy. We're gonna go to 22 now. This one is a specific brand. All right. There's a lot of different brands of these, but I need you to have the Haribo or Haribo.
Oh,
gummy bears.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Let me tell you something.
What?
There's candy in the building, correct? You pass by Tyler's desk and there's candy.
I didn't know that, but I will.
Yeah,
I'm letting you know because I care about you guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
I got one of those gummy bears.
Yep.
Let me tell you, didn't like it. Didn't enjoy it. They were so hard, and I don't know if it's because
the minis.
It was the minis or something.
Packaging and stuff. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan.
I was not a fan of it. My retainers were not a fan of it. No.
They don't like some of these gummy bears don't have a whole lot of taste.
Yeah, that's why you gotta get the Haribo's.
I don't think you eat them for different reasons, but yeah.
But that's exactly what I was having.
Also,
you
guys ever had any Dion Waiters flavored?
That's what I was gonna say. That's why you eat gummy bears. If you see me eating gummy bears, it's probably because I'm trying to be like Dion Waiters.
Yeah, but those aren't shaped like animals.
No, those are
They
shaped like
can
beans.
be.
They can't wait.
Whoa! I'm kidding. I don't know.
You don't want confusion when it comes to your gummy bears because then the kids get into it. Then although maybe
Mad Dog Russo starts taking your gummy bears.
it might be a nice night, a relaxing night for Marcos.
All right,
sleeping.
so that was 22. Coming in at number 21. I like this one because it's kind of a gamble. Sometimes you get them and they're as hard as a rock, and other times you get them and they're super chewy and the paper sticks to them. But either way, they're good for now. They're good for later. They're now and laters. 21.
Hey,
now and laters.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Let me tell you what you do to now and laters.
Yeah.
Right. Put them in the fridge.
Oh,
yeah, they cracking. No man.
No, you put them in the fridge, and then you put them in your mouth, and then the paper doesn't stick. But then when they get softened up, then you can chew them.
Yep. See, that's speaking like a true veteran right there.
Now later, I grew up on some now laters now.
What's the best flavor?
Apple, watermelon,
grape.
Banana.
You got to mention the grape.
Banana.
No one likes the banana.
No banana likes the banana.
No one likes
banana. Nobody likes the banana. You old ass. That's old people. Old people flavor. Banana flavor candy.
Yeah, that's like that and the banana Laffy Taffy. Everyone's always like, I don't want this one.
Yeah.
Even the yellow Starburst. Everyone's like, it's not banana, but people are still like, man.
You know what? I don't understand that because I love the yellow and the orange Starburst.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, that's perfect because I like the other
Love
two.
them.
So we'd be able to
Yeah,
split
so whenever people are eating
Hey.
them, that's the only two that are always left. And I'm like, okay.
I'm a
I'm a
bottom
big-
feeder. I'm the same way.
I like the red. The red.
I love the red one too. Very
Yeah.
good.
We all know the best one is the pink one, guys. Let's not get crazy.
Oh yeah, the
No,
pink
that
one,
was
that pink lemonade one. Ooh.
All right, look, we've gone through a good list. We have a couple weeks till Halloween, so I'm gonna be giving from now on 10 a week. You guys will be able to follow the list. I'll be posting on social media. Number 20, guys. Number 20. We're getting a bit nostalgic with this one. This is one you can only find on Halloween. You can't go to your grocery store and get this Monday through Friday. This is one that's gonna make you tap the back end right there. Warheads. That's number 20, dude.
I listen.
Warheads.
If I'm going trick or treating,
yeah,
and I open up my bag and go trick or treat, right?
Yep.
And you throw some Pop Rocks or some Warheads,
woohoo! Then it's a good
I might
time.
egg your house.
Whoa! Good candy, Leroy. You're not a fan. You never like really just try to put like 2 warheads in your mouth and then you just black out from outside.
When was the last time you went trick or treating?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I brought the trick or treats to me.
Oh,
We had
so
a
you
block
did.
party at my house.
That's right.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Pop Rocks was the Smarties. What did you just mention? The
Warheads?
Warheads and bottle caps can all be thrown in the same thing. Right?
Bottle caps, though.
Same type of candy, just different flavors.
I can't
That's
trust
it.
candy that has root beer flavored. If you have root beer, and I'm talking to you dum-dums, I can't trust you. And I'm not talking about dumb people either. I mean the brand dum-dums. If you have root beer flavored candy, I can't trust you.
Right.
Just strange. Bottle caps have that. Dum-dums have that. And then they have those little Coca-Cola shaped things that are like wax.
That's nasty. You
Those
bite
are
the wax
bad.
off.
Oh, and then you drink the liquid in the inside.
Gross.
You got wax in your teeth and your mouth.
Stop.
Yeah, dude, no one wants that.
I don't know who thought that was a good idea. I don't know.
I'm not sure, but look, I tell you what, 31-20. You heard it here first, guys.
So
Again,
Marcos, what you got going on this weekend? How's Tadpole? Good?
he's doing good. I taught him how to roll the other day. I taught him how to roll.
And when you say roll, please explain.
Yeah, like his body.
Dan.
Dad, you have to understand where Dan's mind is. He ain't got no kids. He ain't got no kids in his life.
It's a useful kid. But yeah, man, I taught him. He's figuring out how to crawl and all that stuff. So I went on YouTube. YouTube's good for anything, man. I was like, how can I help this baby learn how to crawl? I taught him a couple times, and man, now I have to watch out because he's gonna try to roll off all surfaces.
That's not the worst part. You wait till they can walk, but not quite, and they need balance to walk, so they walk on the edge of stuff, right? And everything looks like it's the same level that could split their head. Every counter, it's so, dude. And then when they try to walk,
or when they try,
like,
when they start climbing off the bed, the crib.
Oh, no.
That's scary.
It just seems like young toddlers are always like living on the edge. They're always just kind of, and they look like they're about to die. They're
and they don't
resilient.
realize, like, they living on the edge. They think they having fun, and their parents are like, "Oh Jesus."
We're gonna start baby proofing the house now. I never even
You haven't done it yet?
Nah, because I was like, nah, he won't be. He's fine.
You have to understand that kids open up that cabinet, anything they could open, and it looked like drinks. So you better start locking it up.
I know. I got to start getting those clips for like underneath the sink or like
Guess
whatever
what?
is on the floor.
Wait, when we first did it, my wife first did the house we was living in. She also Leroy proofed the house.
That's good. I
said, I can't get no damn chips over here. You got the childproofing on the cabinet. It was terrible. I was like,
they get difficult.
Marcos, keep an eye on that beautiful baby this weekend while you keep an eye on the Hurricanes and the Dolphins. We'll be back on
We got
Monday.
comedy club this week, Marcos?
I do. I got Ali Sadiq in Miami. Pretty good if you want to come check him out.
Oh, yeah, he's funny. I like him.
He is very funny. If you let me know, man, I'll save you some seats, man. I'll save you a little.
I'm telling you, the next
Just
trip
make
we
sure you're not in
taking,
the bathroom.
the next trip we taking, and I think for Christmas this year, we're going to the Hard Rock.
Whoa, for Chappelle?
No, I asked. Wait a minute.
No. I'm sorry.
When I was on the air waiting in line for the tickets, did I not make an announcement?
Yes.
No, he did.
I made an announcement.
I
Anybody
listened.
want to go see David Chappelle? I was, and then they added 7 more shows, so it wasn't even that damn special.
So then you're saying instead of Prime 112 or anything like that, we're hitting the Hard Rock.
We're gonna go to Council Oak.
Yeah. All right.
Not bad.
I like that.
I need a council.
Love
it.
Have a great weekend. Hawk and Crowder are next here on 560 WQAM.
Woo! Hope you mother have a good day.